Welcome back to the show. I wanted to do a fundraiser for the show because YouTube allows you to do fundraisers. But when I was looking through the fundraisers, and it lets you know who's collecting the funds, and you have Red Cross and you have some California community program or something. So if you want to know why I'm not doing a fundraiser for this stream, it's because I just don't want y'all donating to the Red Cross. For the YouTubers that are using the fundraiser option, I want to say, clap it up, you have a good heart. I also want to say, I don't suggest you do that. I don't trust the Red Cross, but it's the thought that matter. And the YouTubers that did the fundraiser, you gave me an idea that, hey, we can actually raise funds for these people with our live streams, which is a dope idea. But it broke my heart when I saw that the main organizations collecting the funds were, in my opinion, organizations who probably responsible for some of this stuff at the root of it. And that's all I'm going to say. What I do want to do is stay on topic, and I would ask that everyone in the chat room be respectful. Now, what do I mean by be respectful? I don't mean, don't cuss at each other and all that. Yeah, you want to do that. But be mindful, like, that this show is dedicated to a very sensitive event. People have lost their houses. So do me a favor. Don't come in my chat room talking about no other subjects. Don't come in my chat room talking about no other subjects. There's a lot going on in the world. And I chose today, on January 12th, what I thought was more important to talk about. You can't tell me nothing I don't know about what's going on, sir. I know what's going on with my brother, Lord Jamar. I'm going to come to his defense when I get time. I'm going to reach out to him. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but I specifically said I want to talk about this topic today, and I need you all to be focused with me on this topic and this topic only. And today I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to kick your butt right on up out of here, because to me it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to me. Like, come on, man. I'm talking about something that's affecting a bunch of people on a serious level, and you come in here trying to change the topic. Like, check yourself, bro. That's selfish. That's horrible, man. So if I'm just telling y'all, you may not know how you look, but you look very weird coming in here on a topic, on a show like this, and in a chat room trying to get me to talk about something else, bro. That's horrible, bro. Like, just think about that. So, people, listen. This is not the act of nature. This is not an act of God. And I want all of my moderators to time people out if they come in here on something else. Because you know what I don't like about people like that? Because if it was them going through it, then they wouldn't want to talk about nothing else. They want the whole world talking about their little problem and their house burnt up. And people going to talk about it who care about other people. Let them get their time, and whatever y'all want else for me to talk about, I tell you what we'll do. All of you people that got something else, extracurricular stuff, you're going to have to pay me, buddy, and I ain't even playing. So listen, I'll be fair before we get started. If all of you people that's been emailing me, you've been trying to get my attention with all these other topics, I'm going to be honest. I've been looking up on this wildfire situation because that's more important than anything right now. You know why? Because our government, I'm going to have to rephrase that word for the algorithm. Our government, right, with the B's on it, is attacking us. Our government is attacking us. I can prove it, and I'm going to prove it today. And it's so many important facts that I'm going to give you today that you need to share this video, man. You need to share this video. So for all you people that got all of these extracurricular topics, I need 10 of y'all to send a $20 super chat, and we'll do another show when I'm done with this show, and we'll do entertain various topics. All right, but we're not going to mix the topics. This is specifically California wildfire. So there you go. If we get 10 super chats of $20 within 2 hours, then we'll do a whole nother live stream later. But now let's get right into this thing. There's a lot of stuff being said on the news. The news is talking about some guy with a flamethrower starting the fires, but they initially said that it was natural wildfires. The fact that we getting two mixed stories is a red flag. And today, that's what we're here to do. Today, we're here to point out red flags. We're not here to point out the fact that Sanchez is doing his hands like this, okay? Because I know some of y'all so stupid. Some of y'all like be looking at a Negro's hands like, oh, he just moved his hand like that. That's embarrassing. That's silly. Anyway, like I was saying, we're under attack by the government. And they are using technology that I've been warning y'all about. Everything I've been warning people about when it comes to blue beam, when it comes to direct energy weapons, we're here now. And what did I say? I said when the government start rolling this stuff out on the masses, it's crunch time. It's the depopulation time. When the government start rolling these technologies out on the masses, people are going to translate these events as biblical events, as natural or godly events that God is doing. And I was arguing with a Christian the other day, not too long ago, that this ain't an act of God. This is the act of the government. And Christians they get on my nerves, man, because they blame everything that the enemy does on God. Now, how can I prove this is the work of the enemy? We're going to share a lot of videos today. We're going to react to a lot of videos. So buckle up and let's go ahead and start with the first one. Start with our first one.
The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance.
Let's restart that.
There's something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me in. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fires started. And many people have reported electrical wires from the power grid causing these fires. And of course, the water supply has been cut off. And don't you think it's a bit weird in this picture that all of the trees stay standing but the houses aren't? Of course, this is for educational purposes only, and I'm not claiming anything. And then we go to Google and type in 2028 Smart LA City. What a coincidence they want to build a smart city in LA. And of course, it's a lot easier to build a whole city if there's no buildings there. Of course, this is just for educational purposes only, and I hope everyone is safe over there. Thank you. I've noticed.
Now, did y'all hear? Did y'all hear what we got to point out here? We got floods going on the East Coast in North Carolina. And the insurance companies over there pulled all of the flood insurance before that happened. What? And we got the insurance companies on the West Coast pulling the fire insurance right before this happens. What? You can't overlook the fact that they are trying to make that whole LA a smart city by the year 2028 or something like that. And I always wondered how was they gonna get there so quick. Because like you got a lot, this the thing about LA. You got a lot of houses in LA that's been there since the 20s to 30s. Some of the property in LA, guys, is worth millions of dollars. And you got it in these gang areas, these low sort of rundown areas. And it ain't really run down like what's in your neighborhood, because for the most part, California is a beautiful state, even when you in some of these hoods. Besides the graffiti that's on the wall, it's beautiful. I mean, it ain't as run down as y'all thinking. But this is a lot of land they've been salivating for this stuff. You got houses in LA, man, that people had in the family for generations, and they ain't going nowhere, right? They're gonna keep having babies, populating, and they're gonna squat and just expand, and the people are gonna always occupy these territories that are so desired by the governments and corporations. How do you get these people out of these areas that's worth millions of dollars? And you calling these people useless eaters, right? And this is how. Let's play this one again.
There's something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me at. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fire started. And
because if you're thinking about this, right? If the government is saying we're going to run out this exercise, we need all of this land. We're going to displace these people, boom, 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 boom. You got to give the insurance companies a head up, because y'all in the bed together and you'll be shooting yourself in the foot. Because if the plan is to get land for free, and if I attack everyone's property, then I'm not getting the land for free if I got to turn around and pay out all these millions to all these people. It's shooting you in the foot at that point, because the people just gonna take that money and become another headache somewhere else. So they trying to create this sort of Hurricane Katrina situation for these LA residents, and that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. They wanted that valuable land in New Orleans too. But let's play this back. There's a lot we gotta tackle today. Like and share, like and share.
Notice something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me at. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fire started. And many people have reported electrical wires from the power grid causing these fires.
Now, people, if you think that that's an electrical wire, then people don't know nothing. Everybody know what we looking at is a direct energy weapon. Drop a one. This is what I need to know. If you're in a chat room right now and you've been researching direct energy weapons, drop a one. Don't lie now. Drop a one if you've been researching direct energy weapons. Because this right here is not a electrical cord from a totem pole that's sparking. See, let me tell you the difference. When an electrical wire, when it breaks or it has a surge or a spark, it sparks randomly. Let me pull up one for you, because we really need to teach today. We really need to teach today and open some minds and talk about this, because I'm telling you, that is not no electrical outlet messing up with some sparks. That's crazy that they think that. Watch this. All right, so this is what it looks like when an electrical cord causes a fire when it go to sparking. Now look at that. Everybody that saw this before. Shout out to Goon Ho. Thank you. Politics is war without blood. War is politics with blood. Flat power. Thank you, goon ho. So we saw what just happened here, though. I want y'all to look at this again. Check it out. You see that? Shout out to One World, One Hood. For some reason, I thought of him just now when I saw this thing spark. He deals with a lot of this electrical stuff. But look at this. Look at this right here. Now, does that look anything like this? Come on, people. Come on, man.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I'm serious, people. You can see a line. You can see, shout out to Big Dog Philly. Thank you, Big Dog Philly. You can see the line, people. You can see a line, man. That means this thing is targeted. It's coming from somewhere. You can see that little line going right there, and it's heating up a spot. This is the same concept when we get the magnifying glass and we be torturing them ants and we able to focus a beam in the area. People, this ain't no sunlight and no sunlight and dry shrubs. It's wintertime. The air right now on the West Coast is humid. It's humid. It ain't no dry air this time of year. The air is cold right now. And you got to think this is Pacific Coast Highway. Don't you know how much moisture is in the air near the ocean? It's hard to get these kind of wildfires in these areas that we see right now in Cali during this time of the year. So many factors against this, but let's play it out.
And of course, the water supply has been cut off. And don't you think it's a bit weird in this picture that all of the trees stay standing, but the houses?
We're gonna talk about why the trees weren't damaged, but everything else was, because that right there is proof of direct energy weapons. We also gonna talk about why anything that was the color blue wasn't damaged.
What?
Yes, you heard it. Shout out to Adrian Campbell. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Anything that was the color blue wasn't damaged. And I know y'all like, what?
Aren't. Of course, this is for educational purposes only, and I'm not claiming anything. And then we go to Google and type in 2028 Smart LA City. What a coincidence they want to build a smart city in LA. And of course, it's a lot easier to build a whole city if there's no buildings there. Of course, this is just for educational purposes only, and I hope everyone is safe over there. Thank you. I've noticed.
Okay, let's go to the next video.
Showing magnesium falling. By now, you've probably seen plenty of videos showing magnesium falling from the sky, or Willie Pete, or thermite, or whatever. This is the most high-definition video of that happening that I have ever seen.
Now listen, check this out. The book of Revelation prophesied this, and that's why I was getting mad at this Christian who was saying this is God. Bro, read your Bible. The book of Revelation say before God come, the Antichrist is going to be waging war with the people, and that the Antichrist is going to be doing signs and wonders, and that he's going to be attacking a third of the planet with famine, natural disasters like this. It's just starting. And what I don't like about Christians, they do not read their Bible. That's why they're believers. If the Bible is a book of truth, you don't supposed to be believing nothing. You supposed to know. That's why I'm a Gnostic. I'm a Gnostic. The people that wrote the Bible were Gnostics, and if you know the Bible, you know what's going on right now. And you know that this is not an act of our true God. If this was an act of our true God, it would be targeting the enemy, y'all. Not us. Now, look at this stuff falling from the sky. They're trying to tell you these are wildfires. When have you ever saw a wildfire start with stuff like this coming from the sky? See, people, what y'all ain't realizing, the same technology that they using in Cali, they're going to be using it on everybody, and they're going to be telling you it's an alien invasion because this stuff is being activated from the upper parts of the atmosphere. So you don't even know where it's coming from. When we talk about these direct energy weapons, they can direct the energy in any location, and they can do it as far, they can do it from miles away, man, from, you know, very remote locations. But right here, because what you're doing, you're planting, you're in the atmosphere, and in like phenomena like this, they're just making it rain certain embers or whatever to ignite the fire. But this is not the work of the sun causing a fire on a cup of trees and then the fire spreading from tree to tree. The rate by which these fires are spreading isn't natural. So you can't keep calling it a natural disaster when people who went through this said they've never saw nothing like it. And these people in LA are so used to wildfires. I'm going to tell you something. I'm from Alabama. I'm a country boy. You can't fool me with a tornado. All I know is tornadoes. If I saw a fake tornado, I would know the difference between a fake tornado and a real tornado because I grew up with tornadoes. Like if you were in Florida, you're gonna know the difference between a fake hurricane and a real one. And if you talk to Floridians, they'll tell you some fishy about this hurricane. Their families been in these lands for years experiencing natural weather. When some crazy stuff happen, it's something click in our cells where we automatically know it's different than the other stuff. So when these residents are saying this ain't the normal kind of wildfire, you can't just call them a conspiracy theorist, especially when you don't live in Cali and you never experienced a wildfire. These people know the difference between what's supposed to be happening and what not, because they've been through wildfires. And what we're seeing in this video, this ain't natural, guys.
So far, this guy had like a significantly good camera. And I mean, obviously this looks like the entire city is in complete shambles, or town that he's in. Insane to see, though. So I'm sure by now you've probably seen plenty of videos showing magnesium falling from the sky, or Willie Pete, or thermite, or whatever. This is the most high definition video of that happening.
And what'll happen is when Christians see this, Christians will say, ooh, that's God, because the book of Revelation says it's gonna rain fire. But it also say when God makes it rain fire, it's going to be all over the world, not just in Cali where they want to build a smart city. Think about it. Why would God make it rain fire everywhere the insurance companies canceled their insurance policies? Why would God flood all of the areas where the insurance companies canceled their flood policies? Oh, my God. Is God working with the insurance companies?
Happening that I have ever seen so far. This guy had like a significantly good camera. And I mean, obviously this looks like the entire city is in complete shambles, or town that he's in. Insane to see, though. So I'm sure by now you've probably seen
this video crazy, bro, because it ain't nothing nobody can say to me and be like, man, you a conspiracy theorist. Y'all always think something is a conspiracy. Well, I'm going to say this. If you look at a video like this and you think that this is a natural event, then guess what? The world's in trouble. The world is in trouble. Because when people look at when people look at videos like this and you still can't convince them that this is some government stuff, then I just think the world in trouble, man. I think the world in trouble. Let's go to the next.
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Mel Gibson, see, this is weird, man, because this is on Fox News, is Mel Gibson talking, and they are speaking what the people are speaking. And it makes you say, why are they allowing this on Fox News, and why ain't Mel Gibson scared? You feel me? So I ain't gonna answer that. I don't know yet, but I will allow people to call in. We do have a goal to reach. If we can get 10 sweet people to send in a donation of $20, and then we will do an extra show later. This is weird, but we are gonna let people call in for a little while, one caller at a time. And yeah, Mel Gibson on Fox News talking like this. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this,
But see, that's what I'm saying, Uni. Because I know Mel Gibson is an agent, but why would they see? It gets weird. And my only theory is they're setting him up to intercept the narrative, because you got so many people on social media that are pointing out the fact that this is some bull crap. And they don't want these people to control the narrative, because right now TikTok going crazy exposing this stuff. Instagram going, because they exposing it. The people on it. And the fact that they got Mel Gibson coming out making the same true arguments that the people making, I know this tactic is like they want him to come and intercept all of the eyes and ears and can hijack the narrative. And then eventually he gonna do like what Jaron did with Flat Earth and be like, yeah, you know, because it's global warming. And it's you guys' fault for driving too much, and it's gonna blame it on the people, because that's how the devil works. When the devil know he's the one guilty of it, he's gonna flip it and blame it on y'all. You know, you're breathing too much, you know, and all that. What? Shout out to VHS, man. We got 1 out of 10. He says, big up, bro Sanchez. We only need 9 more. 9 more people and we'll meet our goal. We will go live again later with various topics, because people been emailing me, people been coming on shows, and everybody got something different to introduce. But that's my deal with y'all. Either way it go, we're going to try to work something out. But yeah, that's my theory, that Mel Gibson, they setting him up to hijack the narrative, and then he's going to eventually start speaking a whole nother different narrative once he hijack it. But that's my theory. Let's listen.
sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be? You know, I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Wow. See, Mel Gibson know what's going on, but the fact that he doing this little grin and beating around the bush, he's definitely an agent. So yeah, write the word agent in the chat room if we got the right label for this clown. Yeah, and another thing we got to do moving forward is quit hopping on the bandwagon just because somebody's saying what we saying. And I see that happens all the time, and we get infiltrated from these clowns and these celebrities because people like it when a celebrity telling the truth. But then you got to ask yourself why they ain't been telling the truth. Why they telling the truth when we start telling the truth in large numbers and getting people attention? Shout out to that boy Rent. Thank you so much.
Is different.
Yo, this is Tupac's daughter. The video we about to watch now is Tupac's daughter, y'all. Listen to the queen. Much love and respect to Tupac's daughter, Allie Carter. Let's check it out.
There's cities underground. There's warehouses underground. There's actual homes underground. People build these tunnels, and they've built them for decades. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties.
You think this little girl got just a good imagination?
Underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party.
So people be thinking folks just got good imaginations when a lot of these kids, they grew up in Hollywood. Her daddy was Tupac. And this young woman must have seen stuff coming up because we've been saying that there's a lot of, this is a hollow earth, man. And up under the ground are many pockets and chambers where, like, really all throughout the Grand Canyon in South America. Shout out to Dave Poggers. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Dave Poggers. Yes, you want to know why so many earthquakes on the West Coast? Because they got y'all talking about plate tectonics. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, you don't even know how the earth work. Listen, there are empty chambers under the ground that's the size of cities. You got underground lakes and oceans and rivers, man. They got a whole underground highway system. When some of these hollow places under the ground, when they collapse, we have an earthquake on the surface. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Our scientists have dug deeper than they telling y'all, and there is no molten core under the ground. You can dig and dig and dig forever. What? It's infinite amount of real estate up under your feet. They got entire civilizations under the ground that don't even got to come up to the surface at all. They got their own simulated suns. They got artificial suns and moons under the ground, rivers and lakes and road systems. Yo, yeah, y'all better wake up. They got wars that they're fighting underground between different underground civilizations. And this play out as earthquakes on the surface. They go on the news and they say, oh, we got a big earthquake coming because they know they about to bomb somebody up under the ground. When some of these underground cities collapse, when the structures collapse over time, we have an earthquake on the surface. So you got to rethink what you've been taught about reality, man. They're hiding a whole nother world right in front of your eyes, a whole nother reality. Listen what Tupac's daughter got to say about it. Let's rewind it.
There's cities underground. There's warehouses underground. There's actual homes underground. People build these tunnels, and they've built them for decades. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties. Underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party. We walked through the museum, through the garden area.
And people who may question if this Tupac's blood daughter, that, you know, you got to keep in mind, Tupac get around, okay? Round and round, he get around. So, yes, she don't favor him too much, but again, Tupac was getting around. Now let's go.
And employees led us to underground tunnels. We had to take an elevator and stairs.
I can see a little Tupac in her face a little bit.
We had to be led. There is no way that you can just walk into a tunnel. The entrances and the exits are in your face, but there's no way that you can just walk through tunnels. You'll get stuck. You'll go deeper and deeper, and you won't be able to come back out because it's hard, because the tunnels run all different directions for miles and miles and miles and miles.
And these tunnels are ancient. These cities are ancient, man. We didn't do nothing but extend this ancient underground network that the Mayans, Olmecs, and the most of these underground networks are where? On the West Coast. Why y'all think we don't have a lot of earthquakes on the East Coast? I'm going to ask the question again. Why don't we have a lot of earthquakes on the East Coast? You know why all of the earthquakes are concentrated on the West Coast part of America? Because they've hollowed out a lot of the ground on the West Coast. The Grand Canyon has networks that lead into the inner earth for miles. There are civilizations under our feet that's been there for eons and ain't even came up to the surface. And I'm going to tell you something. There was a guy by the name of Phil Schneider. He talked about deep underground military bases with aliens down there. And he told a lot of lies and exaggerated, if you ask me. But the foundation of his claim is true. There are deep underground networks and bases. And yeah, they got species down there that they doing experiments with. They got all kind of viruses and bacterias and organisms under the ground, deep under the ground, that they never want to come to the surface because they'll have to explain it. And sometimes some of these organisms do make it up to the surface, and then they have to come out and say, hey, we discovered a new organism. It's a frog that does this. It's a bird that does this. You have a new organism that just pops out of nowhere. Like, why we never discover it? Why no regular person just, you have these new organisms. You like, where did that come from? We've been here the whole time and they just found it last night. Some of this stuff be escaping uncharted remote islands, underground military bases, and some of this stuff break out. And I think that it's possible that now Phil Schneider was talking about aliens up under the ground. I don't think it's no aliens that came from another planet and came to Earth and dug up under the ground and chilled with the military. I think it's experiments that they running with clones, with all kind of humanoids, trying to make a little artificial human race under the ground. And that's what Phil Schneider saying the aliens are, but they didn't come from another planet. These are deformed humans and humanoids and clones that they experiment to try to make new organisms. But let's go ahead and see, Tupac's daughter really knows some stuff. I would love to interview her, but let's go ahead and finish.
So if you go down the wrong one, you'll get stuck, and it's confusing to turn back around and get back to where you're going. So you have to be led in and out. There's cities underground. There's warehouses underground. There's actual homes underground. People build these tunnels, and they've built them for decades. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties. Underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party. We walked through the museum, through the garden area, and employees led us to underground tunnels.
So a lot of people saying this ain't Tupac's daughter. They saying that this is a crazy lady who's claiming to be Tupac's daughter. I'm going to say this. I don't know if it's Tupac's daughter or not, but what she's saying is real spill. I don't think you should downplay what she's saying because of who she is. Let me try to get some receipts on her. What do y'all think? Drop a 1 if you think she's still speaking some stuff that deserves some thought to it. Drop a 1 if you agree with me on that one. And we'll go to the next video because I got a couple. But that one was deep. Let's go to the next video. Shout out to everyone in attendance right now. This is a very important live stream. Let's send our hearts to the people in California.
Skeptic about climate change, and
what I don't like about like Instagram and stuff, it starts the video off on mute and the video autoplay. And so you always miss a little bit of the beginning of the audio. And I play this game to where I'm trying to refresh the screen and restart the video and hurry up and unmute the video real quick. How many of y'all play that game too? Let me try now.
I'm a skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear, Mr. Kenny's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did, because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a lot of cable news.
Now. Hold on just a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well,
thank you, Astro 40K. Thank you so much.
There is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote.
I want everybody to understand what video I'm playing right now, and I'm going to start it over. This is John Coleman. He's the founder of the Weather Channel, and he's saying there is no global warming. Oh, my God. I got to say that again. I don't know if it's sunk in. John Coleman, the founder of the Weather Channel, says that global warming is bullcrap.
Skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear, Mr. Kenny's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did, because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a lot of cable news.
Now, hold on just a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney. And yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform, and I regret it's become political instead of scientific, but the science is on my side.
I don't think we're going to come to a conclusion about the topic right here. What I do wonder, though, is when you see
I love his assertive stance, because if I went to school for weather and I have a degree and I'm a scientist, I'm going to check some politician and some news reporter that's trying to push this agenda from the teleprompter, right? Just like during the COVID, during the VED, all of our people with degrees, they should have had this energy. They should have had this type of assertive spirit instead of just being silent, tucking their tail. This dude, look, he said, look, I'm a scientist. I ain't trying to hear nothing you saying. Bro, where your degree at? Then shut up. Hey, he's going in.
Allow it to happen on CNN, but I'm happy that I got on the air and got a chance to talk to your viewers. Hello, everybody. There is no global warming.
What I do wonder is when you see the government, when you see NASA.
I like this guy right here, man.
So when you see other institutions say that 97% of climate scientists agree, Do you think they're making it up? What I don't understand is how you square that.
You see, that's what I don't like about the news. Now, this old man, oh wow, this old man, my bad. But listen, you know, this old man right here, right? He has a degree and he's a scientist. And what do the news reporter do? He challenges this scientist, right, with just a bunch of consensus talk. You know, and that's my thing is like, that's what happened during the vid. You had people who were degreed up saying this stuff ain't what they telling y'all. And they was pushing the politicians, the news reporters, and et cetera. So
figure, and let me explain it to you. The government puts out about $2.5 billion directly for climate research every year. It only gives that money to scientists who will produce scientific results that support the global warming hypothesis.
What? Somebody need to protect this man. Yo, we need to protect John Coleman, the co-founder of the Weather Channel, at all costs. We need to protect and shield this man, y'all. You hear what this man just said? Hold up. I'm finna take this whole video back with no interruptions. Let's go.
I'm a skeptic about climate change, and I want to make it darn clear, Mr. Kenny's not a scientist. I am. He's the CEO of the Weather Channel now. I was the founder of the Weather Channel, not the co-founder.
And I'm glad you did, because I am addicted to the Weather Channel. I watch a lot of cable news.
Now, hold on just a minute. I'm not done. And CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney. And yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform. And I regret it's become political instead of scientific. But the science is on my side.
I don't think we're going to come to a conclusion about the topic right here. What I do wonder, though, is when you see...
because you wouldn't allow it to happen on CNN.
You doggone right. Yo, this old dude don't play, because that was so disrespectful. Now, he just told you, think about this, y'all. What's the point of going to school in America, getting a degree, just to have some snobby news reporter after you just give them the facts? They sarcastically shoot it down with, well, I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it here. And the man was like, of course we not, because y'all ain't going to let me. You don't think I know where I am? I'm on CNN. Boy, this dude going in, bro. Check it out.
But I'm happy that I got on the air and got a chance to talk to your viewers. Hello, everybody. There is no global warming.
What I do wonder is when you see the government, when you see NASA, when you see other institutions say that 97% of climate scientists agree, do you think they're making it up?
NASA, watch this now. NASA, 97% of climate scientists all agree that there is global warming, right? This is a consensus-based thing where you pay them all off the majority rules, and it's the corporate agenda gets served every time. Because you don't have more money than the people who got a monopoly in all these industries. And they will throw that money around and get consensus on their side. But consensus ain't science, all right? That's just more people agree on it than don't agree. And yeah, they all paid off. Peep how John Coleman responds to this.
What I don't understand is how you square that.
That's a manipulated figure, and let me explain it to you. The government puts out about $2.5 billion directly for climate research every year. It only gives that money to scientists who will produce scientific results that support the global warming hypothesis.
Facts. That's the biggest part out of the whole video. How you doing, Sister Betty? Salutes to you, Sister Betty. Good to see you. Yeah, That is the jewel
of the Democrat Party position. So they don't have any choice. If you're going to get the money, you got to support their position. Therefore, 97% of the scientific reports published support global warming. Why? Because those are the ones the government pays for, and that's where the money is. It's real simple. But that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't make it true. That only makes it bought and paid for. The money goes in circles.
I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to try to refute you
Boy,
on the
that's the
facts.
truth.
I'll simply
So
say that the
please
vast
stand
majority...
back.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not gonna try to refute you on the facts, and you shut your mouth right there. See, this old man know what you trying to do. He's still finna try to refute the man on what he just said. That's why they clashing.
Back from this issue and let the two sides be on the air. There are 31,000 scientists who have signed a petition that says it is not valid, that my position is correct. And we'll keep battling, and we will prevail in time, but I don't know if we'll do it in my lifetime.
I do hope viewers are Googling the data you're sharing, because I do think it's skewed. I have to say that. I want to ask you about the weather.
No, it's not true, and I hope you will go to the websites that present the papers that show that none of this alarmism about ice and heat waves and drought, none of it is happening.
Is the Weather Channel part of the conspiracy?
Well, the Weather Channel has bought into it. As I say it, they've drunk the Kool-Aid.
This is crazy because this dude is the founder of the Weather Channel. He's the founder of the Weather Channel. That's crazy.
But so is all the media. That's no big surprise.
Let me read to you what the channel said this week. Because
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. This is a big level of honesty. This dude who's the founder of the Weather Channel talking like this on CNN, that's as worse as Mel Gibson talking like this on Fox. It's confusing. It's confusing. Like, wow, he's on my team, right? And wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's confusing. It's confusing.
After you appeared on Fox,
Weather Channel statement.
well, let me read it to the viewers then. After you appeared on Fox, they did put out this statement distancing themselves from you. They said, Mr. Coleman does have a place in our company's history, and we appreciate the contributions that he made more than 30 years ago. However, we want to be clear, John Coleman is no longer affiliated with our company. How did you feel to see them disavow you in that way?
Well, no problem. I mean, you know, that's all accurate. And the statement that's on their website, which they reissued this week, was written back in 2007. And that's a rather reasonable, warmist statement. It's not full of alarmism. It's not full of the sky is falling. It's a pretty reasonable statement. It's not the programming they put on the TV that's not reasonable. And you know, when they put on their climate geeks, those aren't scientists. Those are nuts.
You sound like a man disappointed.
They never put on a real skeptical scientist. They don't give us any spot on their channel.
Yeah.
That's too bad that they don't.
You sound like a man disappointed by the channel that you helped create.
Oh, I'm terribly disappointed.
Come on, man. This dude seems so genuine. I don't know what's happening right now. It seems like a big psyop because you got a lot of people that's like in certain tax brackets coming out saying what we're saying. This man owns the Weather Channel, and he's saying I'm disappointed in the Weather Channel for pushing global warming because it's not real. Tell me that ain't crazy. What? What the world is going on in America, man? Like, all of this stuff, and I got so much more for y'all. Don't go anywhere. Got so much more for y'all. It's been so much happening in our crazy world that we gotta unpack. Do me a favor, though. Everyone hit the
Sánchez cocinando.
Hit that like and share button. We got so much to unpack.
I created a channel to give people their weather, tell them what the weather is now and what it's going to be where they live and in their region, and keep them posted on the weather and serve a real purpose. And that channel has been totally distorted and become strange as it can be.
Well, John, thank you for being here this morning.
Come on, man. How many real ones that you know do that? Drop him a bomb. Drop him a bomb. That man owns that channel and telling you, yep, I'm disappointed in it for pushing global warming. It ain't real. Now listen, I'm not gonna say global warming is or ain't real, but I believe that it ain't real, and I hope that ain't gonna get my video shot on that. I'm just gonna say that it's my belief. I can't be factual on it because I'm not a scientist. But we just heard from one right then. Let's move on.
Americans were eating a half Department of Agriculture. 100 years ago, Americans were eating a half a pound of sugar per person per year. Half a pound of sugar per person per year. Today, 100 years later, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Americans are eating 157 pounds of sugar per person per year, or now we're eating a half a pound a day. So in 100 years, we've gone from a half a pound of sugar per person per year to a half a pound of sugar per person per day. That, plus the deficiency of these nutrients in our food, has resulted in this epidemic of diabetes. Do you think our genetics has changed that much? I don't think so. To the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
That's crazy. Shout out to Goon Ho. Thank you from Fairbanks, Alaska. Much love right back to y'all in Fairbanks. Say you got the story right. Thank you.
Time I go patent hunting, because every time there's something big in the news, I seem to find a patent. And I don't know if you've seen this picture or this video. Or this video.
I want y'all to pay very close attention to the video we about to watch now, because now we're going to get into the main topic about these direct energy weapons, and I'm going to present my proof right now, which is right here.
It seems it's about that time again. Time I go patent hunting, because every time there's something big in the news, I seem to find a patent. And I don't know if you've seen this picture or this video. Or this video where things from the other fire west of LA, the blue things didn't seem to want to burn. None of them.
Uh-huh.
Which brings us to this video, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, where a certain color doesn't seem to be impacted by that directed light. Which brings us to US patent number 103378. You can see the rest, but click on it, and what do we have? I'm not even going to say it up there, but you can read, and you can click, and you can read, and you can scroll. Go look for yourself. I'll tell you one thing I probably know for sure, though, is I bet a lot of the elites in that area, I bet none of them lost their lives. I bet they had some advanced warning of what was coming. But of course, all this is just speculation and satire, and I don't even know if that is CGI, AI, or what, but if I were you, I'd use my noggin and research more myself. Well, it seems it's about that time again.
So we're not going to act like we didn't see a beam. And I'm telling you, that's called a direct energy weapon. But another word for this kind of technology, which has been around since the 30s, it was called a Nikola Tesla death ray. We're going to talk about that. So Nikola Tesla, a pacifist inventor, envisioned a particle beam weapon called the Teleforce or death ray in the 1930s. Tesla believed this weapon could protect citizens and destroy military targets and aircraft. Although Tesla claimed to have built the working prototype, no evidence was found after his death. Now listen, Tesla claimed of building a working prototype. You think Tesla was a liar? You think he lied? Let me show you what happened. They went and confiscated all of Tesla's possessions right after he died, and we don't know what they took. We know that they played a part in Tesla's demise. Come on, man. Tesla knew that they was trying to take his work and use it against the people versus protect them. Tesla had a working prototype of this death ray, and they got the patents for that. And now they're calling it a direct energy weapon. You can Google that. It's the same thing. Here it is right here. This is what they're using on these people. The present invention relates to directed energy. Okay, y'all ain't gonna be able to see that. The present invention relates to directed energy weapons, and in particular, it concerns directed energy weapons based on fiber lasers for use against a target. The weapon comprising a plurality of laser units. Stop right there. What? Laser units. Laser units. Why do we want to talk about laser units? Let's play the video to show you why.
Something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me at. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fire started. And many people have reported...
You saw that laser? Who did you see the laser spark? Let's go. You see that?
Wire.
You see that laser? People think that that's an electrical wire. People think they looking at an electrical wire out, and that is so stupid. Come on, that people. I just played a video of what it looks like when an electrical outlet sparks. And just to be thorough, I'm gonna pull it back up because we got almost 2,000 people watching and people are coming in and out. So let's look. Check it out. This is what it looks like when an electrical outlet sparks. All right. We should know that. Look at that. You see that? That is different than this. This right here is the laser technology, because when you focus, it's directing energy, people. It's called a direct energy weapon. And when you direct all of that energy to a point, it makes a beam. Each of the laser units comprising a fiber laser generated, listen, a fiber laser generating an output beam from a fiber, the output beam conveying power of at least 1 kilowatts. Man, yeah, that's going to start a fire instantly. It don't matter that it is winter time and that the air is moist. If you want to start a fire in these conditions that's on the West Coast now, being that it's winter time, they near water, it's moist in the air, you're going to need something like this. You're going to need a lot of power directed to get that thing kindled in one particular area like that. And these things, let me tell you something about West Coast wildfires real quick that you got to realize. Let me tell y'all something real quick. On the West Coast, people have time and warnings for wildfires. Why? Because fires naturally spread gradually. Fires spread gradually. They pick up momentum and get big over time, gradually. You don't have a situation, right, where a fire is started and it just starts like this, boom, and everything around it is just emblazed into flames. That don't happen. You don't have a situation where a fire starts like an explosion. And the moment the fire starts, everything is engulfed in flames. A fire have to build up momentum when it's naturally started from the sun, from a wildfire, from nature. This right here is definitely telltale signs of direct energy weapons being used, people. You know, go research the direct energy weapon patent. You can Google it yourself and do your own research. Let's get back to the video. because this story goes deep. I got so much more. I want to play his video again because to capture this on video with your camera, they can't lie about it. This is damning evidence, folks.
It's about that time again. Time I go patent hunting, because every time there's something big in the news, I seem to find a patent. And I don't know if you've seen this picture or this video. Or this video where things from the other fire west of LA, the blue things didn't seem to want to burn. None of them.
Why?
Which brings us to this video, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, where a certain color doesn't seem to be impacted by...
Look, y'all, they're using a small scale form of the death ray beam technology, the directed energy weapon technology. That's the little, they're using it right here. Now, when they direct the energy toward these cloths, every color burn up but blue. What? Every color burns up but blue. Why is this important? When you go to Cali, these neighborhoods look like they've just been melted by hell's fires, and you have recycle bins still standing. What? I'm going to say that again. If you go to LA right now, you looking at houses and cars that's been melted, but the recycle bins, the everything that's blue, it ain't been phased, y'all. Come on now. They didn't think we were smart enough to know what kind of technology being used against us. This is crazy. Watch this.
That directed light. Which brings us to U.S. patent number 103378. You can see the rest, but click on it, and what do we have? I'm not even going to say it up there, but you can read, and you can click, and you can read.
Thank you, Thug Rob. Thank you for your donation. Thank you.
And you can scroll. Go look for yourself. I'll tell you one thing I probably know for sure, though, is I bet a lot of the elites in that area, I bet none of them lost their lives. I bet they had some advanced warning of what.
Of course they did. Let me show y'all Tesla's death ray beam. Because that's what they're using. This technology come from the 40s, man. This, if you go read, I'm gonna show y'all something. In these futuristic movies that was coming out in the, I think it was like the 60s and stuff, they had all of these big sci-fi movies with aliens, and they had zap guns and laser guns. The famous laser gun that we see when they shoot somebody and it just blow them apart, that's this technology right here. That's the same technology they're using on these people, because that fire ignited with enough power. Listen, they had at least 1 kilowatts of energy when these things ignited. And I'm going to show you more videos to prove it. Look, an objective lens arrangement for focusing the output beam into a focus beam directed towards the target. Come on, man. Come on, man. People, this ain't no natural fires. This is Tesla technology. And they're going to be using more of this stuff because they've been trying to reverse engineer it since the 40s. They've been using this stuff on people. So in the movies, they showed this stuff back in the day where they shoot the zap gun and boom, you just blow up. And guess what I'm about to get into in a minute that's going to mess y'all up. I ain't going to even tell you. I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to make y'all keep watching and just buckle up. And let's send our prayers and, our good energy, whatever, to the people in L.A., man. And, do what we can to help them. Real talk. They are using Tesla's death beam. Tesla wanted to be used as a defensive weapon, but now they're using it as a weapon against their own people. Listen, our governments took a lot of this advanced technology from Operation Paperclip, from Nikola Tesla. and they perfected it in secrecy and under the ground and all that, and they bringing it out now, and they're using it for the depopulation agenda. All right, when you think about what's going on, it's really the powers versus the people. He said that this thing is powerful enough to destroy 10,000 planes from 250 miles away. What? That's what he said. Listen, read this part. Tesla said this thing can kill without a trace. What? Listen to that. Tesla said the death beam was powerful enough to destroy 10,000 planes 250 miles away. If it can destroy 10,000 planes, it can destroy 10,000 houses. Matter of fact, it can destroy way more houses than planes. From 250 miles away, do you know how far away that is to be directing energy? Nobody will ever know where it come from. You can tell them anything. He said in the interview, Tesla told him that the apparatus, he said that it'll kill without a trace. So let's go to the next video, because this is only going to get deeper and deeper, because we got to talk about spontaneous combustions. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. How does that tie in? You'll see in a minute.
It's making us sick. My name is Courtney Swan. I have a Master's of Science in Nutrition, and I host the Real Foodology podcast, and thank you so much for listening to us today. Our food is being tainted by dangerous chemicals, and it's making us sick. In 2009, I started to get debilitating stomach aches. I bounced around between specialists with no clarity for 2 years, until 2011, when I was diagnosed with a gluten intolerance. I was also told to avoid corn and soy, which are common food sensitivities amongst my generation. Unfortunately, my story is not unique. Clueless to how this was connected to our food system, I started to do some digging. What I found was alarming. Our current agriculture system origin story involves large chemical companies, not farmers, chemists. 85% of the food that you are consuming started from a patented seed sold by a chemical corporation that was responsible for creating Agent Orange in the Vietnam War. Why are chemical companies feeding America? Corn, soy, and wheat are not only the most common allergens, but are among the most heavily pesticide-sprayed crops today. In 1974, the U.S. started spraying our crops with an herbicide called glyphosate. And in the early 1990s, we began to see the release of genetically modified foods into our food supply. It all seems to begin with a chemical company by the name IG Farben, the later parent company of Bayer. Farben provided the chemicals used in Nazi nerve agents and gas chambers. Years later, a second chemical company, Monsanto, joined the war industry with the production of Agent Orange, a toxin used during the Vietnam War. When the wars ended, these companies needed a market for their chemicals. So they pivoted to kill bugs and pests on American farmlands. Monsanto began marketing glyphosate with the catchy name Roundup. They claimed that these chemicals were harmless and that they safeguarded our crops from pests. So farmers started spraying these supposedly safe chemicals on our farmland. They solved the bug problem, but they also killed the crops. Monsanto offered a solution with the creation of genetically modified, otherwise known as GMO crops, that resisted the glyphosate in the Roundup that they were spraying. These Roundup-ready crops allow farmers to spray entire fields with glyphosate to kill off pests without harming the plants. But our food is left covered in toxic chemical residue that doesn't wash, dry, or cook off. Not only is it sprayed to kill pests, but in the final stages of harvest, it is sprayed on the wheat to dry it out. Grains that go into bread and cereals that are in grocery stores and homes of Americans are heavily sprayed with these toxins. It's also being sprayed on oats, chickpeas, almonds, potatoes, and more. You can assume that if it's not organic, it is likely contaminated with glyphosate. In America, organic food by law cannot contain GMOs and glyphosate, and they are more expensive compared to conventionally grown options. Americans are being forced to pay more for food that isn't poisoned.
Courtney Swan, we appreciate you. This gonna tie into something else that I want y'all to talk about, how we got all of these metals and stuff in our body. We full of all of these metals and aluminum and all that. I'm gonna show you why that's important when I get into spontaneous combustion. Let me give a shout out to Leonard Robinson. Thank you, sir. Said to the show, Mobile, Alabama up in here. Thank you, baby. Go ahead. We're going to get deeper and deeper. Follow along with me. Okay, these pages freezing up. We're just going to refresh it here. What we'll do, we'll close it. And we'll open another one. Did you see that? What? Oh, snap. Let me give a shout out to Dr. Remka. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat donation. Much appreciation. Appreciate that, Dr. Remka. People, check this out. Check this out, people. Because I'm telling y'all, this is a Nikola Tesla death ray beam. This is Tesla's technology. Look at this. Look, they didn't expect for people to capture this on video, but I'm going to let y'all watch this again. And just like that, everything start being engulfed into flames. See, natural fires start from a small spark and they gradually get big as they are fueled. You feel me, guys? These fires, there's a big beam from the sky and now everything around it is engulfed in flames. And then the flames rapidly spread because they didn't have to grow to get big like a regular fire. A natural fire will have to grow gradually. When you using this Tesla death ray beam, it don't start like a regular fire. It automatically start like a regular fire take a long time to get dangerous, like how the wildfires in Cali is. It take it a minute to build that to that point. These residents said they just heard like an explosion and boom, there go fire everywhere. That ain't natural. That ain't and people who can't articulate the technology and what's going on, they blame it on God when man is playing God. This is a good one here. So when we realize that the governments of the world has this kind of technology, the people need to stop playing dumb. Because at this point, when we know better, we got to do better. I think people so embarrassed to be called a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hatter, and just that kind of pride will be to our detriment because, I mean, in a lot of people's hearts, they know it's some fishy about this. They just don't want to look like the conspiracy theorists in the room. But, bro, they're now targeting us. They're now targeting us. Let me give a shout out to One Rare Jewel. Thank you so much for your supporting of today's stream. And thank you for being a new subscriber. Let's check out some more videos, guys.
What was coming. But of course, all this is just speculation and satire, and I don't even know if that is CGI, AI, or what, but...
Thank you. We got to have a disclaimer. With everything I've said in this stream, I want everybody to know I do comedy. This is just satire. Nothing I said is true. Make up your own mind. Do your own research. I'm not a scientist. I'm just giving my humble opinion, and I don't think it's worth much. There go my disclaimer.
If I were you, I'd use my noggin and research more myself. Well, it seems.
Let me give a big shout out to Nubia Gold. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. Nubia Gold says, Monsanto operated plants right next door to black neighborhoods for years in St. Louis and poisoned their water supply for decades. This is FACTS. Yes. I can stand behind that. And again, for my disclaimer, just understand. Sorry for that shot right there. For my disclaimer, just understand. Anything said on this channel, don't take it as the truth. Take it as parody and satire comedy. And please don't take any health advice over here. Any scientific claims made over here, don't take them seriously. And this is just my disclaimer to cover my butt. Shout out to Happy Dog Lady. Oh yeah, thank you so much for becoming a member of this channel. Thank you.
Flawless victory.
We got a new channel member in the house. Welcome to the team. Illuminated Initiate. Shout out to Brud. Thank you so much for the donation. Said the work you do is essential in our ascension. Oh, I like that. Like that. Stay with me though, people. There's a lot more I got to give y'all today. Let's play the next video. These tabs are acting kind of funky today. Let me close this one up. We'll play it right here.
To America on February 20th, 2031.
So Amazon Alexa device predicts the date America will end. Check it out because AI have been right in its predictions. This is true.
What happens to America on February 20th, 2031?
On February 20th, 2031, the United States of America ceases to exist. This date marks the culmination of a process of unification between various governments that was not approved by most people. The country's...
What happened?
So when we say that America won't exist in 2031, what they're basically saying, it don't mean that like it's, I know you thinking like America gonna be obliterated or something. No, it ain't gonna be called America no more. We're in the time now where they're about to consolidate world powers and rewrite maps as we know it right before our eyes. They already changing the topography and geography of the earth with big events like what we see in LA and displacing people. And it's only going to, it's part of an agenda that's they gonna play out. But let me go ahead to this next video, which is very important, and it's gonna go into spontaneous combustion.
Going to attack. Think of a microwave. Frequencies. If you know how they're going to attack. Think of a microwave. Frequencies. If you put a metal fork in there, it sparks and explodes. But if you put broccoli in there, it heats it up. The difference is the material it's made of. You cannot put metals in a microwave. High frequency device. Now let's talk about this direct energy weapon. That's a high frequency device. Melting all the metals, leaving trees behind. Sounds like they're using microwave technology and it's affecting metals. Well, imagine if you had a bunch of metals in your body. Heavy metals, like barium, aluminum. You know, the stuff they spray in the air or the stuff they put in water. Even in food, the you-know-what. Long story short, we need to eliminate metals in our body. Imagine if they turn that up higher, level 2. The more metals you have in your body, the higher the chances of you exploding, melting like those cars, catching on fire, sparking like the fork in the microwave. You need to detox from heavy metals right now. I did another video on this recently about a movie I watched. They use frequencies to disintegrate people. This isn't a movie, folks. We're test subjects. I saw a video about the people in Hawaii that were jumping in the ocean because their skin was burning. It wasn't burning because of the fire. It was from the frequencies coming from whatever it is they hit it with. They were cooking. Water in their body was cooking. And if they had a lot of metal in there, or if the frequency was higher, people would be just like those cars, disintegrated. Far-fetched? Not anymore. I use frequencies to detox. I use mineral salts, cilantro under the tongue, onions on the bottom of your foot, rebounding on a trampoline. Stop it. I know how they're gonna.
Now check this out, people. In Hawaii, when this stuff happened, people was jumping in the ocean because their skin was burning so bad. And it wasn't from the fire, is what she's saying, right? It was from, they was burning from the inside out. The own metals in their body was responding like metals in a microwave, because when you use directed energy weapons, it's based upon microwave technology, and everything in that epicenter up under that dome that was where the target, impacted at, it's gonna experience a microwave effect. And a people that's full of the most metals is going to experience the most pain. The kind of weapons that they're going to be using is going to require us at this time to detox. We're going to have to become vegans, because they are in the future, they're going to be using microwaves and sound things to interact with the metals that they already put in you anyway. They've been priming us for this. So why did I bring up spontaneous combustion? Because when we first figured out direct energy weapons, it was around the 30s, leading into the 40s. Like I said, Nikola Tesla's time. We got the receipts right here, actually. This here was in way back in the day, as you can see. So during this time when we was experimenting with direct energy weapons, there was a phenomena taking place on Earth called spontaneous combustion. And if you're familiar with spontaneous combustions, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat room. My theory is that we were experimenting with direct energy weapons, and we were literally directing the energy towards certain people, seeing what effect it would have. And there was a time in America where, Tesla was said a lot about the death ray. He was saying that the precision and the way that you can focus this beam is surgical. Basically, it's very specific and to the micro. And it would explain how a person can be sitting in their living room and just blow up from the inside out. And, the house ain't disturbed. If you can focus a beam as targeted as Tesla said about the death ray beam, then just like the old sci-fi movies, just like those old sci-fi movies with the zap gun, we can really, improve this technology to a point where you can have individual death ray beam guns like what we see in the sci-fi movies, and it will literally be able to focus and target a beam so precise that it will be possible to have the death ray beam effect limited to an individual versus a whole area like what we see in LA. Meaning you can, if you ever had a spray bottle before, you can take this spray bottle and you can twist the muzzle on it to make it spray in a mist or stream. Mist or stream. Let me show you what I mean. Show you what I mean. The technology is able to focus the beam, or you can get a large area. You can basically have a mist spray and have a situation to where we see in LA to where they got news channels coming out saying it's a flamethrower. because it's targeting such a vast amount of real estate. These fires are covering so much ground at one time that people are asking questions. It's obviously not natural. And they got, like I said, Tesla was saying how you can have control over this beam on how much you want to focus it to achieve widespread damage or target it on an individual. So that's where we moving into the future, you know, and that you can look at that like mist spray or strength. So you got mist spray and you got steam spray. And that's the two ways you can focus that beam, the two extremes, and then everything in between, of course. So much to unpack here. Yeah, so spontaneous combustion was literally, they was making movies in these back in the day, during the 40s and all that, where they was using Tesla's death beam in the sci-fi movies. They called it zap guns. That's what I think they called it. Let me look up some of those movies just to put that in your head, show you what I'm talking about. They had all of this in the cartoons and the movies, zap guns. This was based on Tesla technology. And when we finally get this stuff advanced, you will be seeing spontaneous combustions on Earth. Because remember, you can use this technology from, let's go back to our chart. Let's go back to our chart here. It says, what was the specs? It was 250 miles. I remember it. It was 250 miles. So you can focus this beam from 250 miles away, according to Nikola Tesla right here. He said that you can destroy 10,000. Think of what Tesla's saying. This ought to make everyone like, this is serious, bro. Because listen, think of how big an airplane is. Do you know how many humans can fit in a jumbo jet? Let's do some quick math. Do y'all mind? Let's be nerdy. Let's be nerdy. How many humans can fit in a jumbo jet? How many humans can fit in a jumbo jet? Let's go to Chat GPT for that one. Let's do some research together and some math. Let me get my calculator real quick. So we can fit, let's go with 7. Okay, with those numbers, we'll hit the middle. Let's say 650. 650 humans can fit in a jumbo jet. Let's go back to what Tesla said. Tesla said we can destroy 10,000 jumbo jets from 250 miles away. 650 times 10,000. That is 6.5 million people that they can wipe out from 250 miles away with this kind of technology, y'all. Did you hear me? We just did the math. And this was what they used to show us back in the day. The zap gun, especially in Star Wars. In Star Wars, these things would disintegrate you. The moment the laser make contact with you, boom, poof, be gone. You like a spontaneous combustion. And this was based on what Tesla was saying about his technology. This was what Tesla envisioned with the death ray beam. And there's so many scales of this. Think of gun calibers. Think of gun calibers. You can have a little bitty 22. You can have a 12 gauge. You know, you can. Comes in different calibers and different intensities and all kind of forms of this technology. Let's go ahead and go to the next video. So spontaneous combustion, I think I got a good theory for it right now. I think that's a pretty good theory to explain why people was just blowing up back in the 50s and 60s, right around the time they was tampering with the death ray beam technology. Let's play some more videos.
In our world, we're not allowed frustrate anybody else that we're not allowed to talk about what's really going on in our world? We're not allowed to talk about what's actually unfolding behind closed doors. We can't talk about Maui. We can't talk about North Carolina, and soon we won't be able to talk about LA. We're not supposed to know about the flood insurance that was canceled before North Carolina, and we're not supposed to know about the fire insurance that was canceled before LA. We can't talk about the color blue, and we definitely can't.
Hold on a second. My chat went down. Let me give a shout out to Adrian Morrow and Corina. Thank you guys so much. Let me give a shout out to Adrian Morrow and Corina for those super chats. Those are some gracious contributions on your guys' end, and I appreciate it.
Can't talk about the cities that are coming. We are not allowed to talk about what is really going on in our world. We can't talk about the shipping containers. We can't talk about why celebrities always look so young. We can't talk about what happens in the tunnels, and we definitely can't talk about what happens every single day beneath our feet. We can't talk about what is really going on in our world. Our world is not as it seems. Everybody that you see, that you look up to, our politicians, our celebrities, Hollywood, is not as it seems. Evil is running this world. And it is soon coming to a head, and Satan will step out onto center stage.
Let me give a shout out to Carl Scott and to In Law We Trust. Thank you all for the gracious contributions. You know, why do celebrities look young for so long? Because what is happening to aborted fetuses? You know, you got to speak in code to avoid the algorithm. But there's something called abortion. And they take those fetuses and all that and make all kind of products with them. And the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, but the rich stay younger. While the good people die young, the good die young. And this is a very vampiric, satanic world. And it ain't what a lot of people see it as on the surface. And when your eyes finally open, it is like, wow, we're in the devil's playground. And if you don't know what this place is, it's easy to become victim of the tricks of the enemy and to fall for his agenda. There's nothing in nature that's divinely intervening to stop the enemy from victimizing you. The only intervention will be knowledge is power. So it ain't like nature gonna save you, because what nature gave us, what God gave us, was a mind. And that is your weapon against deception. And if you don't use it, you can't blame the creator. You can't blame God. You can't blame nature.
The beast system is getting set up right in front of our eyes, and we are not allowed to talk about it. Does it frustrate anybody else that we're not allowed?
Okay, let's go to this. It's a lot of good videos.
And LA fires. In my opinion, we're looking at fires and LA fires. In my opinion, we're looking at the same story. Whether it was geoengineering or gross negligence, the outcome is the same. It serves the climate change hysteria, and they're taking over land. I mean, insurance companies canceling their fire coverages, water shortages when you're right next to the ocean, personnel shortages because they've fired all the unvaccinated firefighters, the mayor cutting the budget by almost 20 million, and while this is happening, she's chilling overseas. We need to get this to our heads. These puppets that have been chosen to execute the enslavement script don't give a f about us. They think we're stupid. They're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel, while the hurricane victims in North Carolina are left to fend for themselves. To this day, if we want to see change in our lifetime, we better wake up and unite and stop arguing over race and gender and religion on a goddamn keyboard and start knocking on the city doors and demand justice with fire in our eyes.
Goddamn right, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Flawless victory.
What I'm talking about right there. That's motivating right there. And I'm going to tell y'all something. right now. He said a lot of good points. I'm going to unpack them real quick. Let me see here.
LA fires. In my opinion, we're looking at the same story. Whether it was geoengineering or gross negligence, the outcome is the same. It serves the climate change hysteria, and they're taking over land.
Two birds with one stone. Tell me that ain't the truth. You got your climate change agenda served, and you taking over. Everybody know these people all about the land. It's called colonialism. See, we chase the money. They want the ground beneath your feet. And the people that want the ground beneath your feet, watch what I'm about to say now. The people that want the ground beneath your feet will always pull the rug from up under you. Ooh-wee. Y'all know I'm a poet, right? You know I'm a poet, right? And you know I got a quotation book, right? Go get my book. It's just $10. Quotes like that up in there. People that want the land that's beneath your feet, they got to pull the rug from up under you. Wow.
I mean, insurance companies canceling their fire coverages, water shortages when you're right next to the ocean, personnel shortages because they fired all the unvaccinated firefighters.
Any talk about vaccinations on my channel, don't take it serious. I don't agree with anything anybody say about vaccinations. I recommend that you go to your professionals, your local experts and doctors and people who are licensed. Don't take any advice about vaccines or any medical information advice from anybody's channel, any platform online, including mine. Always do your own research from certified experts.
The mayor cutting the budget by almost 20 million, and while this is happening, she's chilling overseas. We need to get this to our heads. These puppets that have been chosen to execute the enslavement script don't give a about us.
And I told people what? Guess what I told people? I told them, I said, you know what? When Donald Trump get back in office, they're going to start running all these pandemic style exercises. And there's a new disease breaking out in India right now. So I got to do a whole nother live stream on that and cover that and find a way to talk about it without getting demonetized. And, you know, so be on the lookout. But what did I tell you? They always do this kind of stuff up under Donald Trump. You know why? Because Donald Trump has such a cult-like following. It doesn't matter what happens under Trump. People still gonna praise and love him. But if it's any other president like Biden or anybody, they gonna be watched with a microscope. So I'm not a liberal. I'm just saying I saw under Trump we had the pandemic, and that it was a lot of Trump people coming to his defense, man. Even though he had the what was the name of that thing that Trump had where he rushed the experimental jabs in? It was Operation Warp Speed, wasn't it? Wasn't it called Warp Speed? This man is the devil for doing that. Like, come on, he was a puppet for the Mad Mafia. And his Trump followers still say he can do no wrong. Just like all of this stuff is about to happen up under Trump, and America is not gonna let you. He talk about make America great again. When he's the pandemic man. I'd be scared when Trump get in office because I'd be like, here come the social distancing, the lockdowns, the apocalyptic events, the diseases, the wildfire, the war. I'm just saying, though, you know, y'all can call in about it later, but let's finish the videos.
They think we're stupid. They're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel, while the hurricane victims in North Carolina are left to fend for themselves.
Come on, man.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on. I'm talking about how much did they give Ukraine, y'all? Let's look it up. Let's be specific here today. We got all of this technology. We don't got to guess nothing. How much did we give Ukraine for war? because the people in LA right now, but they letting them, okay, so they Chat GPT don't want to talk about, okay, so we gave them approximately $175 billion in emergency funds. Oh my God. That included military aid, economic support. I wonder if the people in LA and Hurricane Katrina gonna get economic support. And remember that the insurance companies backed out right before these incidents. What did the insurance companies know over there on the East Coast in North Carolina before the flood, and over here on the West Coast before the wildfires, and down there in Katrina before the hurricanes? Because them people was relying on FEMA assistance. And I don't know the insurance situation then, but it was some fishy stuff then, because we know these insurance companies ain't finna pay out that much money at one time to that many people. It's gonna bankrupt them. But the people paying to this stuff, and at least you should give them a refund. If I paid my flood insurance for 20 years and I need it now because a disaster happened, and you saying there's some on a policy where you can't really do that for me for whatever reason, then give me a refund on what I paid into it. This is crazy. It's so sad, man. Sad, bro. So I think at this time, it's time to open up the call lines. And to the callers, there go my call-in rules. No profanity. Hell and damn, we don't care about hell and damn, but no profanity. Your camera got to be on at all times. You got to be able to be heard. So get quiet background, make sure you're legible. And no drugs, no smoking, no alcohol on camera. So very simple rules. And at this time, we're going to drop the call-in link. And if you are from LA or Cali, we really encourage you to call in if you have seen anything or can say anything that I may have missed. Let me give a big shout out to Charlie. Thank you, Charlie, for the donation. And let me give a big shout out to Zion Train. He says, appreciate the work, Sanchez. Much respect. I appreciate your support, Zion Train. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, let me drop that call-in link for you guys, and we'll have you come up one at a time with your camera on. And if you're drinking, pour it in a cup, because we don't need to see, cans and all that. Shout out to Naisha Channel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you all for the donations. I covered everything on my side as far as what I got for the, oh yeah, this video. We'll play it while we wait on the callers to come into the waiting room. We'll play this video. I like how the people was all over this like this is BS, though, for the most part. Okay, we ain't got to play the music. This is what I wanted to show y'all. Look at here. Everything that was blowed up and destroyed was just blue. Blue. Check this out now. Everybody with a blue house, they house still standing. Tell me what's up with that. Why you got blue bands that didn't burn? You got blue tarps that didn't burn. I keep telling y'all there's only one technology in the world that does this. It's only one explanation for this, bro. Fire is not selective. Fire is gonna burn everything. But the technology behind the death ray beam, for some reason, it doesn't affect the color blue. And I will be uploading a future video I'll be uploading to explain why the death ray beam doesn't burn blue stuff. Now, if you are a caller who know the science behind why it doesn't damages the color blue, then yeah, please come up and share that science. I'm gonna research it and I'm gonna do a uploaded video. It won't be a live stream, it'll be a uploaded one where I'm gonna explain why the blue is not damaged. But this video is crazy because you can see everything is damaged but the blue stuff. And there's only one explanation for this, and that's that, hey, this is death ray beam technology. This is direct energy weapons. So we're going to bring on the first caller. Remember, cameras on, everybody. That video was crazy. Everything is like disintegrated, but the blue stuff, that's crazy. One explanation for that one. So Dub, Dale Cream, welcome to the show. You're the first caller. And whenever you give me a mic check and unmute your mic, we're going to let you go ahead and speak your mind to the people. Dub, Dale Cream, can I get a mic check from you? Going once. Going twice. Gotta let you go. And I think I better let you go. Looks like another faulty audio. Faulty audio, son. Faulty audio. And I think I better let him go. Looks like a Zoom call. TKO. Oh. Gonna take some time to go and fix my device. What's up, Barbara, son? Let me clap it up for the elder in the house, man. Let me go. You can unmute your microphone. You just hit your microphone button and talk to him.
I got it.
Talk to
Can you
him,
hear
OG.
me now?
We can hear you loud and clear. Yep.
Okay, my brother.
And whenever you got something to tell the people, just let them know it and speak your mind. They can hear you. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice subject you're talking about. I think of the power that be creating this. This ain't nothing about no nature.
Facts.
I live in Louisiana. I didn't see real hurricanes in the fake, like Katrina. That was a fake hurricane. That shit was made up. That's right. Just like what's going on in California right now. Power that be behind that. That's right. Insurance companies, people, State Farm and all them other insurance companies pull out because they know what was going to do. All planned.
Yep, that's facts.
They pull out, so they got a lot of people got $1 billion houses, came $500,000 in the insurance company. They pull out, so they ain't gonna get no money. That for that, unless they got a whole lot of money in the bank, but a lot of them people be living above their, because you got $1 million house, that don't make you rich. It don't.
Yeah, it really don't.
That's
it
right.
Really
they got
don't.
a lot of people. They got a lot of people living in $500,000 houses, but they got jobs. They got to keep bringing in money. They got to pay the mortgage. You got mortgage. You got to pay the light bill and the pussy bill and everything.
Facts. These are facts, though.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought up the Hurricane Katrina because I didn't know how the insurance situation was there, but I'm sure it was some fishy stuff. I can't prove it, because I know during Hurricane Katrina, people was getting FEMA assistance. They weren't really getting, certain people was getting, I don't know how the insurance thing worked then, but I know these insurance companies never gonna pay out big, like whenever there's a government attack on the people, somehow the insurance companies always know how to get up out of there ahead of the time. And people been telling you that they in bed together. So.
And what you said is true about Katrina. A lot of people got FEMA money. I got big time. I took advantage of everything them people was giving away. That's right. And this bottom of my heart, I got almost about $20,000 out of FEMA.
Yeah.
I was getting paid from my job and Red Cross money, and I got money from all the stuff that I lost in my house. People got paid if you knew the right people to deal with. People got money.
I remember that people was like, "Yo, man, I got a 5-figure check, all that stuff." And I'm gonna tell you something. Even though FEMA paid a lot of people money, the land that they took after that was worth way more. But our people was still happy to get that money during that time. But we don't realize that it's just a land grab. Well, we realize it, but what can we do about it? You know what I'm saying? I think one thing we can do about it is quit playing dumb, though. Like we don't know who the enemy is, and all of our black leaders, people in power, that's what they do. And that's crazy. We don't call them out and let them know. We know this is an attack from you, the enemy. They ain't gonna stop it. You know what I'm saying?
And what you just said, I want to ask you a question about Dr. I might be going off course a little bit, but what you said made me want to ask you what you just said about, people just getting over and this, that, and the other. What you think about Dr. Umar Johnson disrespecting Black people and trying to make us be Pan-African and all this other nonsense?
People thought that I used to hate on the Pan-Africans. They thought I was cooning. I've always beefed with the Pan-Africans and went in on them. And why? But for the same reasons kind of that Tariq Nasheed goes in on the tethers, right? Because a lot of Pan-Africans, like we always have been Afrocentric as Black Americans. We show love for Africa. And just to see that there is this growing number of right-wing conservative Africans that come over here try to undermine us, then we gotta call it out. You know what I'm saying? And you have people that are Africans that don't stand for that too. So I don't want to let them speak for all, people from across the water or whatever. But my whole thing is, what I would say, and that goes into the hip hop argument, who created hip hop, salutes to Lord Jamar. It's a lot going on right now. And what I'll say to Fat Joe and to what's his name that you just brought up here?
Dr. Umar Johnson.
Dr. Umar Johnson, he's starting to show his true colors now because he's against reparations, for one thing. And you don't, and the people who you like, Umar he's not begging Africans for donations to help him build that school. He's begging Black people for money to help him build an African-centered school, but you don't want the Black people who you asking for donations to have reparations. You asking them for money to help you build a school, but you don't want them to get money that they're owed from. But you want Africans to be compensated for what's happened. We got to stay away from people like Umar. We're in a time right now where if you got eyes to see, you're going to see. If you got ears to hear, you're going to hear. And if you ain't using your eyes and ears, you're going to be following deceivers and false prophets and all that.
That's right, because I didn't know he was a con man. I checked this. I do research. I don't just be talking just like you. That's why I like about you, because you do research. I did
appreciate
research on his net worth. You know what his net worth is?
What is it?
You know what his net worth is? $10 billion. You can go to Wikipedia or you can go to Google. This man got $10 million out of the black neighborhood.
Bro, but don't want them to get reparations.
Don't want us to get reparations. How that sound? Now,
I got to do a whole show on him.
You can Google it right now. Because I do research on people. You can Google that right now and it'll come up. His net worth. That's right.
We're going to do a show on Umar for sure. It's time to do another show on Umar, but most definitely.
So if his net worth is $10 million, where's the school? The school should have been built.
Right. These are facts.
He could have took $250,000 or maybe $300,000 and bought a building and start that school. And you know what I'm saying, and get everything in right. That man is a con man.
He's definitely that. He's definitely that. And I'm glad you brought him up. That means I do need to do a stream on him because I noticed what's my brother Lennon Honor has never took his foot off of his neck, and I heard that Umar have been, raising eyebrows lately with his anti-FBA stance, and it sucks coming from him because FBA supports you more than Africans, bro, and you more Pan-African than pro-black, And
Exactly.
and I'm the one that they'll call a coon, though,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That man didn't raise 10 because he's been raising money for the school since 2010. It's 2025. That's almost 25 years, huh? 20 years.
But that's crazy. Like, as much as I troll my own people and I fake coon and go against it, right? As much as I troll, I never go against reparations, and I'ma always speak up for them. They know I'm trolling on some Slyway Charleston White type stuff. But Umar, he's really against black people, and they can't see it. It looked like he formed though. Yeah.
Because I made at least 3 videos this week about him and his people coming in my comment section telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just jealous and all this old nonsense. That man is a con man. I'm 76 years old. I know when somebody bullshitting me.
Hey, you the OG, and you every time I hear you spitting none but the truth. And make sure y'all sub up to the OG Baba Rasan. We got more people coming on to speak about the California wildfires. And like I said, if you from the West Coast, because I got something else for y'all about this wildfire thing too, and it's a bonus video. Thank y'all for everyone that sent in donations. Our goal, it was halfway met, which is, to me, that's pretty good, man. I appreciate that. I'm grateful. So I got another video for y'all, OG, and for the people coming on real quick. Let me pull this up. So there's a West Coast rapper. His name is Joey Badass. If you from the West Coast and you know about Joey Badass, let me know. So let me pull this up real quick. Let me see if the video is still up there.
See, my brother Sanchez. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I was about to get on out of here. I want to watch the rest of it on,
Okay.
let some other people come in,
Okay, for sure. Thank you so
I'm
much,
still gonna
OG.
be watching it I'm gonna watch it on my computer.
All right, thank you.
I just wanted to come in and, give you some homage and give my opinion on what's going on.
And I'm glad you did. I'm always honored whenever you grace us with your presence, OG. You welcome anytime. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Peace, blessings, and love to you and your family. Peace and love to everybody in the chat room.
For sure, same to you.
Okay, my brother.
All right. So this artist by the name of Joey Badass, right? People are giving him a lot of flack. And shout out to Curtis King for putting this out. What happened was he was filming his video during the wildfires. So he saw it as an opportunity to, is this the video? This ain't the one. Let me find it real quick. Now, a lot of people are tripping on this, brother. Hold on, I want to find this thing. Anybody know the video I'm looking for? Ain't it Joey Badass? He made a video with the doggone wildfires in the background. And people was like, bro, this ain't the right time for that. This the wrong video right here. Let me find it. Curtis King got it on his channel. But if you type it in the chat room before I find it, I'm going to pull it up. Let me see. Yeah, this was crazy. Like, what y'all think I'm about to do a poll of this? Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Is it Joey Badass? Nah, that ain't Joey Badass.
There's an LA rapper right now that is coming under controversy for choosing to not only promote a new song, but also shoot a music video in front of a burnt down house affected by these very same fires. The artist's name is Inhale, and he just so happens to be the son of the late, great Nate Dogg. I want to get your perspective on it, and I want to see if you understand why it's meeting some controversy or why some people don't think that it's such a bad thing.
City on fire, but I still gotta smoke. I still gotta smoke. City on fire, but I still gotta smoke. I still gotta smoke. City on fire, but I still gotta smoke.
There's literal smoke behind him too. The embers ain't even got cooled off yet. Yeesh.
I still gotta smoke. City on fire, but I still gotta smoke. I still gotta smoke. I really.
And now I ain't gonna lie, the song fire. And the idea is one of those ideas that's just a risky idea. You know, he's shooting a video while people literally packing their stuff, getting up out of there. You know, people they was like, not now, bro. Like, you doing too much during a very dramatic time. Like, people going through stuff and you trying to, you know, they say he's trying to clout chase or whatever. But what do y'all think, though? Like, is he wrong because people is debating, they 50-50 on it? They like, but it's kind of paying homage to the city. And some people like, no, it's clout chasing, you know, and all that little stuff like that. So salutes to all of the callers. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to T. Wriggles. If any of you have any input concerning situation, for sure, definitely share it with us. Welcome.
Salutes, bro.
Big salutes,
Salutes
Charlie.
to all the others in the panel and everybody on the chat.
Yeah, as you can see, bro, you're on point again. I didn't think of the energy weapons. They hit us with the energy weapons, I think, back in 2018. There's a place out here called Thousand Oaks, and the same thing happened. The ones that had the blue tops, the blue roofs, didn't get burned, but a lot of houses got burned. And just recently, you know, because I'm in the thick of things here, right? And just recently, they just caught so-called 2 arsonists per se, and that was such a front. Like, that was a lie. You know.
So let me get this straight. They supposedly caught 2 arsonists in L.A. as of now. What you saying?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh man, you talking damage control? Come on, give it to me. Go ahead. Good stuff.
You know, and so those are the 2 the excuses for everyone to buy into what is really going on. And in the history, I've been here, everyone, and Sanchez, the history here, right? And Charlie knows, okay? I've never seen a fire burn like this in the wintertime. Makes no sense.
It's senseless. It is.
And where Palisades is, and then all of a sudden Pasadena, it's like that is That is so opposite of where the beach is. We're talking about, let's say, a good 45-minute drive from Palisades to Pasadena. Yeah, it's a minute. And that got set on fire too? Oh, y'all got to stop playing with me.
Yeah.
You know, this is why I represent for all the tinfoil hats all across the world. You know, and I advise everyone, keep your tinfoil hats on this year, because it's going to be so much more. And I land.
Yep. These are facts. I'm going to screen share with my panel, and I'll drop the call-in link if you want to hop aboard the mothership with us, good brothers and sisters here, and have your input. Salutes to the people in LA that's going through it. And, you know, like I said, my good vibes and energy goes out to those people. They're under attack. And in a minute, it's going to be all of us. And it's lately, I've been really having an urge to like bushcraft and go back to my country boy ways and stuff like that. And I'm seeing why the universe doing that. Like, I really want to get out of these cities, man. Because I think a lot of these big cities, because they trying to remodel a lot of these metropolitan cities. They had the same infrastructure since the 20s and stuff. They got these new smart city plans, and a lot of places is just finna. They want that land. It's a lot of people been living in these lands for so long, you know, in these big cities with your football teams and all of that. And real talk, they ready to reset this whole way of living that we under. And it's going to be more of this to come, in my opinion. And I think there is a big association with the fact that Trump is always in office when we have these apocalyptic scenarios that start to threat our regular way of living. All of this is inevitable. It's got to happen. It's going to be bittersweet. This is a transition that the earth itself is happening. But what I wanted to point out is that you can't say that, well, this is God attacking people. But that's another topic that I wanted to bring up. There's a lot of people that's saying, well, this is the wrath of God. And I just wanted to say that is very disrespectful. Someone, grandma loses her house, and you're going to tell that woman she probably pray every night. She probably got a better relationship with God than you got. And you're telling her, well, God punished you, and that's why he took your house. People, there's a lot of people online that's trying to put this on God. But one, it's blasphemous. But two, it's totally disrespectful. To tell a person that's going through it who just lost their house, and God did it to you. You don't, that's crazy, man.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. And
Crazy.
Just to add to, bro, that, you know, the Olympics are coming to LA also, I think in 28. Am I right, Charlie? Something like that.
That's right.
So to push, you know, all of the smart cities, you know, it would be a good time to do it for them. Like, this is real evil, and I land.
Can I say something real quick? You guys, I'm gonna get off of here. This is Keita Rising. I live here in California, and I've been here in California. That's where I am at. For the past year is when the insurance companies started to cancel people's insurance policies, and I've probably been referred at least 200 people to my homeowner's insurance. It didn't just start like 3 months ago. They've been doing that for the whole past the whole year of 2024. People's insurances were getting canceled. And so I know a few of us was asking, well, damn, you know, what do they have planned that everybody's pulling out of California? If you live, especially if you live in certain areas, that you're not getting any insurance unless you go through Bamboo. We have only like, I say about 3 or 4 types of homeowners insurances companies that will actually insure you since since last year. So when people online talk about, oh, it's the act of God and stuff, it's really irritating for those who are actually here. who are actually going through it. I've been helping people, like I said, for the past year, get a whole nother insurance because you're not getting accepted. You're not getting any fire insurance.
Man, let's give a shout out to this sister Wakita. Let's hold her. Let's drop a bomb for her, man. Real talk. She's helping her city, her people, man, and we appreciate that. And yeah, it is frustrating. You telling people it's a act of God. You know what I'm saying? Because if you saying it's a supernatural act of God, then we shouldn't even assist the people. If they're under God's wrath, we don't want to work against God, right? You better stay away from them people. God striking them down. You know, it's a very bad response to a serious situation. And I think it's one of them situations where you got Christians just being Christians, and it's cringe at this time when you really step back and think about this ain't the time to come with the whole God. It wasn't the time to do it during Hurricane Katrina. They did the same thing, and I was really angry. Like, why is God only targeting these people in Louisiana and the Haitians and all? Come on, man. Like, so we got to cut that out, like, for real, because it hides who the real enemy is right up under your nose. That's the other dangerous thing about it. What's good, Oba? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Sánchez cocinando.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you, sister.
How
Welcome
you
back.
doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good evening. How y'all doing? I know this stream is about the wildfires, but I'm gonna be very honest. Oh, and Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year.
I'm gonna be honest. I still can't get off of my mind what happened here in New York City with that woman that was I don't know, burnt, torched by that migrant. And I heard what you said, since we're talking about fire, and about you were talking about LA, and then you referenced also Maui, the people jumped in the water.
Yeah.
Because their skin was burning. I got a box of tissues here because I can't stop. I just get, I don't know. This is kind of upsetting, obviously. But do you think you can, or people can elaborate on what's this whole thing about the migrants with this fire in LA, and the person that supposedly set this woman on fire, supposedly was one of these illegal migrants. They some of the residents in Kenneth, Los Angeles, some neighborhood called Kenneth, they detained a illegal immigrant who had some arson, who they accusing of committing arson and starting the fire, the latest fire. What exactly is going on with the rest of this whole situation? I kind of feel like, some of these people are participating. There's too many speculative
I get
stories
what you
that
saying.
they don't all go together.
You
I
saying
feel
that
like some of these immigrants are participating in this, and I feel like it's the government, but I feel like they're participating in harming us. Like, this is kind of fucked up.
you know what's crazy is that you do got a lot of migrant issues on the East Coast, and while they're displacing people on the West Coast, they're replacing people on the East Coast at the same time. And
yeah,
I think this may all be tied together, as one part of a big land grab for coastal properties. Because you see what I'm saying? I think it may be, everything is ultimately tied together. It's just, how is it tied together? And this is a good theory on how. So
I just can't believe it, It's unbelievable. I saw Dan Calloway's video showing what people believe are UFOs going into the fire. None of this stuff makes sense. I stay on for the most part I stay on the, what's his name, Steve Bannon show. He was bringing up good points. And it's like, well, I would still honestly, I heard your point of view. I would still be on the Trump side of his arguments when it comes to what's the word? Preparing cleaning up the goddamn forest. I think that's irresponsible over there for them not to do that. And for them to not have water
You know what
next
I
to the
don't get?
largest ocean on the planet.
I was just finna go there. That's what people were saying, because you got this taking place on a Pacific Coast highway right next to water. Don't y'all know we spend hundreds of billions of dollars into tax programs to prevent these kind of things from happening? And I'm gonna show you where we supposed to already had an infrastructure in place that was siphon water from the ocean all up. Because think about it, we protecting our people, our citizens, right? Let me share some with y'all. You got a lot of coastal property that people bought these houses years ago when they was cheap, and that property right now is worth millions of dollars in Cali, y'all. Because when I be visiting Cali and I go to the beach, you will see old houses near the beach from new houses, and you will see that it's a lot of property that's worth a lot of money, but regular people own it. They've been there for years and they ain't going nowhere, and they only gonna populate. And if you want that land, you gotta come with something, and this would be perfect.
Yeah. And let me ask something else. I now that I'm hearing that the only person that I know whose name I can't remember his name, Mel Gibson. That's the only person whose name I can say that I know who's a celebrity who lost their house in this fire. But there's quite a few of them. There's quite a few of them. And I wonder, I don't, I'm sure, I heard, I don't believe this just because I heard it, but I kind of heard that, Diddy's house was, I wonder if this has anything to do with this list. And it feels to me like they're burning evidence. And I feel like the governor and the mayor of Los Angeles is in on it. And that's why she was not she was in another country when it started, because she didn't want to be around. And then when she was confronted by a foreign journalist from Sky News, she was looking all stupid. I kind of feel like they're burning evidence, because it's true. They're saying that these are, kind of like regular size houses for like $7-8 million, $15 million. And it's like, well, first of all, if you have the money to put into a regular size house and spend millions upon millions of dollars for it, you shouldn't be using fire insurance. I'm sorry. The regular people need fire insurance. Why should the insurance companies be coughing up all of their money? Literally, all of their money would be going to rebuilding that one town, Pacific Palisades, because those houses are so expensive. If you're gonna get a house for a small house, and it's gonna cost you $6 million, $10 million, you should have the money to buy a new house that costs $500,000, the same size, and you'll be all right. You're not like the average person who, if they lost their house, they would be. That's how I feel about it.
No profanity, but you going in though. No profanity, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I apologize. But to me, just it stinks. It smells so bad to me. That's why I started off asking the question about the woman in Coney Island, because when you made that connection with the people who jumped in the water in Hawaii when Lahaina caught fire and they had their problem. I'm wondering to myself, I always wonder about people in this city here. What do people do to stay warm over here? I just wonder what people, if they know what they do to themselves. How is it possible that she was standing on her feet while she was on fire? Her body was on fire like that. I just don't, none of these things make sense to me.
You know what? That's a very interesting question. And I tried to answer it and stopped like, whoa, I don't really got an answer for that one. I got to look into that one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's very sad.
And
It's very,
let me,
very sad.
let me welcome the new callers on. But before I do that, let me give a shout out to Mr. Tyson. Thank you, Mr. Tyson. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I guess we all know this the only channel that can decode all of the paranormal activity that's about to unfold in 2025 and beyond. That's for sure.
Sánchez cocinando.
Let me say shout out to John Doe and Fabricio for joining.
Hey, what's up,
Welcome. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining. You got something to tell the people?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, bro Sanchez. All right. So the reason why these people don't have water in California is because there's this rich family, right? They own the wonderful company. They do pistachios and all that shit, all that stuff, right? They're in agriculture. They own the agriculture, right? So they have friends in government, and they pass laws to prioritize agriculture instead of the people. So the people are paying for the water system and all this crap, but the government is prioritizing all these other agriculture companies. That's why the people have no water. The wonderful company, the people who own that company, that's the reason why they own the whole water system.
Now that's
They
something
call
to
that
look into.
Yeah, they call that the old-fashioned water rights. Those water rights go back probably close to 100 years. And a lot of water and mid-California is being invested in almonds. Almond trees and almond growing takes up a massive amount of water.
Man,
and the people buying the almonds, they're all going overseas. Countries elsewhere are hot for almonds. We don't really eat that many almonds around here as a nation, but
you're right.
But that's where the water's going. Almonds.
I have a hard time.
That's on purpose.
Yeah, I swear I have a hard time buying the water thing, as the water department lady was saying. Like we don't have enough water. Well, to me, we have a similarity here. The most common thing with Hawaii Lahana and us, both of the water supplies were cut off, like intentionally. And then there was during that whole Palisades thing, the cars in the middle of the road, people abandoned their cars. No, that was a blockade. So people couldn't get to wherever the fire was. Like, this was so scripted, yo. And shouts out to them. I guess they accomplished their goal.
Hey, Sanchez.
Salutes, T. Wriggles, I believe you what you said.
What's going on, Sanchez? This, John Doe.
Salutes, John Doe.
This one thing I keep saying on all these podcasts. I ain't talking about you. You always cover all your ends, always. But one thing I keep seeing a lot of people talking about on a lot of podcasts, and they're not asking the real questions. Why ain't the government using their weather machine right now to stop that fire like they do everywhere else? We already know they got a weather machine that can make it rain. They did it in Dubai when they flooded out the people in Dubai. Had the rich cars floating down the street, floating. So we already know they got this technology. So why did they not use that in California?
No, here go a question. I'm gonna give you and not to say that ain't a good question. That's a fire question because you made me think about this right now when you just said that, John Doe. This is a key red flag. They was complaining that they don't have enough fire department people. But guess what, though? The National Guard got their own firemen and stuff. Why won't we get the National Guard resources involved? Because this is a national emergency. We can treat it like, so the fact that you don't bring in the militaries, you don't want it stopped for real and you need an excuse. Well, we didn't have enough firemen. Drop a 1 in the chat room as this is something that we should get the National Guard and the reserves in, because they got resources too to help put the fires out and manpower too.
That would make perfect sense.
And then Sanchez, what about the billionaire couple who own almost all the water rights in Los Angeles? What about them?
As the wonderful company people, the people who own wonderful company, look into those people. They own the water rights. Wonderful company. Pistachios.
What do they have to do with the governor tearing down the dams that's caused all of the water to flood into the Pacific Ocean? That's why they don't have any water. There was 4 dams that Gavin Newsom tore down to save a little, really small fish that was going extinct or something like that, and he destroyed 4 dams in order to, and it didn't even work. The purpose was to save a certain fish that was going extinct, and it didn't even, excuse my language, I keep on cursing. I'm so sorry. It didn't even work. It didn't even work.
Yeah, the fish you're
What did
talking
that
about is
company have to do with that?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The government,
What
they
did
can
the
tell us, hey,
wonderful
pass this
company
up for
have?
this fish. We need the water. They have friends in government.
Yeah, going back to that, the delta smell, that fish is the delta smell. Those fish are already dying. They don't really exist anymore. They've been dying for different reasons. So it's all fake.
Now, some people may say, well, it ain't the government job to assist right here. I'm going to say this again. Don't you know that you pay taxes into this kind of stuff? We got scientists, engineers, and wise men in the world for a reason. So they can prevent stuff and use our tax dollars for programs to make technology that they supposed to be foreseeing this and creating technology to prevent this, but they create technology to police you and control you better. We got technology. Check this right. We got technology that can transport the human consciousness. We got technology that can see other galaxies in space right now, but we can't stop a fire right here we can't stop a fire.
And that's what I was saying, Sanchez. Our taxpayer dollars, we got weather machines. Why would y'all let these people burn? And our taxpayer dollars, I know, paid for the death ray. And now, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's wild. That's all I can say. It's wild. They
If they
actually
use weather modification, it would just prove us all right.
Say it again.
Yeah, we do.
If they use weather modifications, they would prove us right that it exists. They don't want that.
We already know it exists.
Yeah, we know, but the masses are still stupid about it. They still think it's a conspiracy theory.
Oh no, but that's documented though.
Yeah, you already
I understand, but the masses don't still think it's bullshit, BS.
I tell you guys like this, with the leadership, I swear, if Newsom doesn't get fired, for not taking preventative measures here, because I saw the video where Trump warned him and said, look, he said, I have an idea. You take the water from Canada and then you do this and you do that. And Newsom said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
If this dude, because I don't like Newsom at all. He gives me real creepy, highly political vibes. So if he doesn't get fired, along with the mayor, like all the leadership things here, if we're going to point the finger, that's who we kind of point to. And so if someone get fired, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.
It's just, I've never been to California, but you, Sanchez, you live there. It's fun. It's so interesting how you're next door. Well, I've never been to the West Coast at all, but it's just funny how these things happen in the same place where you have Hollywood. It's just unbelievable what goes on over there. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There's really nothing that could be said because they had so many solutions.
I'll tell you like this.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, T. Riggles. I'll go after you.
You know what I'm saying? I tell you like this. Obviously, it's a push to rebuild. We're speaking about elites here. We got billionaires here that will take all kind of preventive measures to protect their area. So to let this happen lets me know, oh, okay, so you want to rebuild right now. Like to have Hollywood burn like that? Come on, y'all.
But you got to keep in mind, though, think about this, T. Riggles. It ain't Hollywood. It is strategic places specifically where they're trying to build. You can look at the smart city plans for California in the future, and everywhere targeted right now with this crap is on that map. And it out of in these big rich places in California, because like the richest people in Cali, we think that they, living in, a lot of them live in LA and like a lot of them do. But I found out it's a whole bunch of just uppity rich places in Cali that ain't in Hollywood and just little cities you can't even pronounce. Cali got so many cities, and it is so many just rich, beautiful cities in Cali that tucked off, man, that they don't put on TV and stuff that just, and these places don't get touched.
Wow.
Absolutely. There's a city called Hidden Hills, and it's a gated community, and everyone knows that there's so many celebrities or really wealthy people live in that area. I got wind that the people in Hidden Hills made one phone call, and they were received 900 firemen just to prevent anything from coming into that area. You know, and there's and like you just said, bro, there's many more cities where, you know, a lot of rich folks live at that no way near they gonna get touched.
I'm still discovering. Listen, this is, y'all gonna think I'm lying, and it ain't just me, because I've talked to people that was born and raised in Cali that has told me, bro, yeah, I'm still discovering new cities in my own state. Cali got so many cities, it's crazy, man.
No, check this out, bro. I'm glad you said that. The distance, so Orange County started to expand, right? LA was first. Orange County is very beautiful, and then it gets better than that. As you target the land between Orange County and San Diego, unbelievable, man. Over by where Legoland is at, Carlsbad, and you make your way to San Clemente, it's beautiful. The roads, the freeways, smooth. Man, and that land is big over there, and it's beautiful and growing. Yeah, makes me sad.
Yeah, I was surprised, Charlie.
Respect.
I was surprised, Charlie, that like Santa Monica didn't get burnt.
That's what I'm saying. All of these big rich cities that the world don't really know about in because they think the rich people live in Hollywood. That's what I'm saying. You know, Hollywood is not like we thinking like that, like for real. You know, that's where the industries and the companies, the movie film stuff. But like I would say that it's more rich people that go into Hollywood to work, and they may have an apartment or some property in Hollywood. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of real rich cities in Cali that ain't in Hollywood though. It's like you'll just ride through them and be like, damn, I didn't even know this was here. Shit type crap. Like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But that area, man, I would love to retire if I stay in California, San Diego County. Unbelievable, man. Beautiful, pristine. But whatever. And then there's also the mid coast, which is like slow, San Luis Obispo and Pismo, that whole area up there, man, that's all wine country, and all the retirees are going there. Big money.
Calabasas is another one too.
Yeah, Calabasas is another one. You know, most of the rich people really live in Calabasas. I hear that, and
yeah, that's still in the LA basin, so to speak.
Okay.
But when you leave
Kardashian's got like three mega
man.
mansions in one property.
But I'm telling y'all, but is it this?
Robles, beautiful.
But Charlie, is it this true though that you don't have a lot of like quote unquote natural disasters happen in a lot of the rich places in Cali? It's like strategic lands they trying to get off of people that's been on these lands for so long and stuff. Like that may be a theory. I don't know if I can prove that 100%, but I really feel that way, that this ain't a lot of rich people who taking a brunt of it. Because think about it. You got a bunch of people that's complaining about insurance. When we say rich, it's like rappers, like The Game lost his house. But see, when we talking about rich, we talking rich. It's levels to it in Cali, bro. And these gangsters that may have a few mil or whatever, right? They in the same. They ain't considered like rich yet. Like what we talking about here. So
well, that's for sure. I mean, if you were, I don't know how much rich is, to quantify it, but yeah. But if you're making, maybe 80,000 a month, I'd say you're doing very good. And that's what we're talking about. People that make 80 grand a month. You guys do the math. Hey, bro, yesterday evening I sent you a video on a guy riding an electric bike, boots on the ground in the Pasadena area. And man, you can see the devastation in broad daylight, boots on the ground. The video is probably 30 minutes long. And I'm going to say I sent it around 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to look for it. I'll share it with the people.
Yeah, salute, man.
Cut on in. What's good, Charlie? What's good, bro?
What's
Hey,
good,
what's
me
happening?
myself? How you doing, me myself?
What it do? Thanks, me myself.
What it do?
In here causing some good trouble. And congrats, bro, on getting that money right, man.
Me myself. Thank you for joining, man. I know you got some for us, but you mind if I ask you a quick question? Because I know you consider yourself I'm gonna say a quote unquote Christian because I don't like the term Christian, but you're a Bible subscriber. Now, would you say stuff like this is an act of God?
Nah, man. That's what I was literally about to get into. Nah,
Go
this
ahead.
is a precursor. Yeah, man. All right, check it. Remember, I was like, I'm reading through the book of Revelation slow, real slow, like the tortoise and the hare slow, right? So when I got to chapter 18 yesterday, right, it's literally talking about, well, chapter 17, verse 18 says that actual harlot is the city. And then chapter 18 tells you and describes the city. And as you read through the city, it tells you what they trade in all cities that have high level trade.
I see
right?
where you're going. You better not go to LA with this. Let's go.
Hey, that's exactly what it's talking about. It talks about trade in all trades of port cities too. Those are always the hubs, always near water. So I was like, it might be New York because we always talk about Statue of Liberty, Luciferian, the Apple, whatever. And I was like, nah, because then in that chapter it tells you that they also trade in human bodies and souls.
But watch this though. Here's how I give you something to think about to arrive at that idea, right?
Yeah.
Now, why would God be targeting all of the places where the insurance companies backed out? For example, North Carolina, before the floods in that area, the insurance companies in that area backed out. That's fishy. Same thing here in Cali. Insurance companies back out right before this happens. Either the God knows something that the insurance companies know is some kind of right here. If we're going to bring God into it, then God must have told the insurance companies, hey, back out because I'm finna strike these places or something like that. I don't know.
That's crazy. And if those are the ones that are really anti-God, then that wouldn't make no sense. I see what your point is. Exactly. And so also what's crazy is the lithium, which was like one of the top deposits in the country, if not the world, was in that area that they got hit by the so-called natural disaster. And I put that in air quotes, right? And this prerequisite, everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes. I also am a comedian. This is all for entertainment. But the lithium, that goes into what kind of modern car? Teslas. California gold rush. What is gold used for? All kinds of modern technology. And so my mind instantly goes to that type of so-called rabbit hole. It goes to that level of rabbit hole, rabbit trail. Then it goes here. Then it goes back to Revelations 18 because it's describing, it's almost like when we talk about either they're making prophecy happen or it's fulfilling itself naturally. And so I believe, like we always talk about over here, that they know the program. They know that they're in the wrong. They know that certain things are fitting the
even in this video, this brother is saying that this is the apocalypse and stuff. I'm looking at the captions, but my bad. I apologize for interjecting. I was impulsive. Go ahead.
And that's what everybody's going to instantly think. And I think that they're playing with us, just like the whole Democrat Republican. When we was like, hey man, they're all part of the same family. Biden just said if Iran tries to so-called assassinate Trump, it's going to be an act of war. Don't you touch my brother. That's pretty much what he said verbatim, right? And so we've always been that they're in cahoots, two wings of the same bird. So what they're trying to do is make us believe that this is an act of God, but when it is reverse manipulation and reverse engineering, I believe that they have the knowledge to make certain things like blue beam or blue beam, essentially, where they can make you think that you're seeing something like a UFO or orb, and that's an angel or one of the angels described in Ezekiel, but it's not. That's our actual G.O.V reverse engineering our psychology. So that's what I'm thinking. And they're playing as if they're the ones pushing the prophecy. But I do think that there's a real prophecy that will be fulfilled, but we got to wait for the fake Antichrist to come first.
Well,
and
look,
that great harlot, that city is going to burn down before that happens as well.
Listen,
according to scripture. But yeah, go ahead.
When the Bible speak about a city in that scripture, it's really talking about a nation. So like when we say the city of Babylon, if we were to bring forth the city of Babylon today, it'll be a small nation. Like we can't think of city like LA or Las Vegas. I'm thinking when the Bible talk of because it uses the term that great city. And I'm thinking that's the Bible way of saying a nation, because you didn't have the word nation back then. So they would call it like, empire, great city to me. But this is just me theorizing based on research. I don't really think it's talking about one particular coastal line. The Pacific Coast Highway took the most of the brunt here. And I think that what the Bible talking about is when they start using this technology on a more major scale. I think we calling it God right now, but when you see what's finna come in the future, then people gonna really call that God if they calling this God, because they're using Tesla's death ray technology. But from what I see and what I know about that technology, this is still using it on a fairly low to medium scale. Once they turn up the volume and start using this thing on a big scale, people it'll probably blot out the sun for a minute in certain areas, like how you see this effect that it's having on the sky right here in LA. Now picture that intensified, where you got this fog in the sky so thick you can't even see the sun rays through it, because they've hit so hard with it. And this is like microwave technology. You see what I'm saying? So how things start, like, think about this. Look at this video right here. Ask yourself this. How come those trees ain't damaged? In every one of these videos, he gonna pan around. You don't see the damage on the trees. Why a lot of the trees are still standing everywhere. People are like, what's going on, right? Look at this street sign right here. This street sign ain't burning up. Now, this can be a reach, but I'm saying it's the color blue. It ain't gonna burn nothing blue. It ain't burning the trees. If you think about what happens in a microwave, when you put broccoli in a microwave, it ain't gonna just burst into flames. But if you put an piece of aluminum in there, it'll blow up like this building. It'll start disintegrating. Only certain things gonna be disintegrated with this microwave technology. Now, let me explain something to y'all. If I was a person that wanted to regain the land, right? I wouldn't want to damage the trees and the soil. Because when I come and reclaim the land, I'm going to need the natural ecosystem to rebuild on and all that, and irrigation and all that. Now, if I got some kind of technology that can just destroy the properties that I know ain't going to go nowhere no time soon, but we ready to innovate our plan, and really all of these properties is like mom and pop companies, private personal properties. These are places that they've been trying to gentrify and come through with this new smart city stuff. And it's just not quite convenient that the only thing that's being destroyed is people's property, and that these properties don't belong to no big corporations. All of these properties are in areas that the big corporations have been salivating for. But you got people that's been living there for years, and they ain't going nowhere no time soon. So look at this. Look at this clip of the trees ain't damaged, and then everything else. But yeah, go ahead, sister. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go in on you just mentioned the fog, and I was thinking also about something else, but I want to tell everybody this, and I want to like ask what everybody thinks about my kind of hypothesis a little bit. Now with these fog, everybody's showing fog all over the place. In the cold climate, in Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, you got these particles coming out of the sky. And I watched Dan Calloway's show, thing yesterday, video that he did yesterday. It was 25 minutes long. And he said that there was a train that left.
Salutes to Dan Calloway. Y'all go check that brother
Yes,
out and
definitely.
sub up to that brother for real.
Yeah, listen, go watch. Yeah, definitely. He was saying that there was a train back in April, so that's 8 months ago or whatever, that left Wyoming, and at least one of the cars was filled with a fertilizer, with a chemical that is used as a fertilizer called ammonium nitrate. The train was returned back to Wyoming, but at some point the contents of the ammonium nitrate disappeared. Now, if you think of, first of all, if you think about, fertilizer, it kind of is flammable. If you think about all the things that they use for fertilizer, I wonder if, just to go off on a tangent for 5 seconds, I wonder if what they used in the Vietnam War, napalm, I wonder if that was used as a fertilizer.
You know what? You know something about napalm? This stuff is burning as if napalm was used, but it couldn't have been napalm in this because the trees would burn with napalm.
Also, right.
And the fact that we got a napalm-like reaction, but we know it ain't napalm, it cancels it out, and it start to now point out the fact that this can really be Tesla's death beam. This, especially when we look at the video clips of the. I'm gonna play another clip because I forgot new people coming in. Look at this, y'all. This is how the fire's ignited from a beam. So it's definitely not a wildfire because Tesla talked about this death beam, right? Once this thing make impact, when they target it on a specific coordinate point, it creates this epicenter bubble, and everything inside of that epicenter bubble is like you're in a microwave. And what it's gonna affect most is buildings and structures that's got the most metals in them, like houses and all that. But it ain't gonna really affect trees and all of that, like putting broccoli in a microwave. And if you put a spoon in a microwave with the broccoli, the spoon will burst into flames, but the broccoli won't. And that's why the trees ain't burning, even though they say it's a wildfire and it's coming from the trees. But the trees ain't burnt though, but everything else ain't nothing but property burnt.
It's crazy.
This is so strategic. I'm sorry.
Let me just add one more thing.
You got it.
I want to say this. This is what I think happened. Because if you notice the blizzard, that the wind that's going across the country in the south, going from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast, in the Midwest, it's caused a snowstorm, a blizzard and everything. And I guess down south or whatever. But then you have on the West Coast, after what they call them the Santa Ana winds, they were 90 miles an hour winds. After that, you had these fires. I think that the natural stuff mixed with unnatural things caused the fire, and they were putting them out. They were doing a good job putting them out. And then I think next thing you know, I think what happened was they started using this technology to reignite the fires once the wind left, because the wind is gone. If the wind is gone, why are things still on fire right now? The wind is gone. I think that's how it started. Because what I don't understand also is it very interesting how I had to look at pictures of what ammonium nitrate looks like. And when I see all of these videos in cold climates where it's actually snowing, where snow is falling out the sky, and tropical climates like in Florida, where you have this stuff, this fog, and mixed with this material, this white material falling out of the sky and everything, it, to me, from somebody who doesn't know anything other than what I'm looking at, it kind of looks like it might be ammonium nitrate coming out of the daggone sky. Honestly, And if you have a situation like that, I don't know how it would get over there, but it kind of doesn't matter because the forest wasn't cleaned up. The forest was not cleaned up. They didn't clean up the brush. There's no water. There's no precipitation. It was dry. There was no water for months. And all you need is a wind. But once the firemen come and they use the helicopters, the fires went down a little bit. But then next thing you know, the wind stops, and then the fires come back even though the wind stops. And I see what your point with these death rates, because it really doesn't make any sense.
Right. And I just want to say,
kind of disguise it to make it look like it's a wildfire that was,
And I just want to put
something to that.
Yeah, I want to put a quick disclaimer on this video in particular. I've shared it throughout the stream. A lot of people saying this didn't happen in LA. This was in Ukraine. So we want to actually fact check this one. But yeah, go ahead, Sister Wakita. You got it for sure.
The Santa Ana winds are not normal for us in January. When we have those Santa Ana winds, that's an autumn thing. That's November. Sometimes October too. Before we even get ready for Halloween, we have those Santa Ana winds. But for January, that Santa Ana wind crap, I'm not buying it. I am 38 years old as of yesterday, and never have we had Santa Ana winds in no January.
Hey, salute to the sister. That was very accurate. Wow. I didn't look at it that
That's
way.
triple double facts. Triple double facts.
Drop her a bomb. Drop her. We got bright minds over here. That's what's up. Hey, shout out to both of the sisters on the call and to all of y'all brothers on the call. We got Chronic Roots Cali in the house. Shout out to all of my people in Cali right now, because I'm going to tell you something now. To all of my California people that's listening, it's not over. And I don't mean to be the negative one. I'm just telling y'all, I fucks with y'all, man. I love the West Coast. I've been out here. Guess what? They had a whole plan to transform California, guys. And it's California gonna look different on the map in the future, according to my research. And I'm gonna do streams in the future to show y'all what I'm talking about in a minute.
Hey, salutes, bro. Real quick, this is gonna do something weird to me locally, but it could get complicated. The housing industry, the price of homes, there could be something that may happen in that industry. And then I can't help but think, I'm in the oil industry, friends, and it could affect the oil industry. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're kind of related in this situation, so we'll wait and see. It's tough. It's going to be a tough year for everybody, man. 2025. Be safe.
And y'all from Cali, y'all remember the movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson called San Andreas? And do y'all know that y'all got hit with those mini earthquakes right before all this happened? And they kind of just swept that under the rug. They pretended like it was a joke. But in a fight, you never get beat up by just a jab unless you're Roy Jones Jr. You always throw a combination in the fight. So I don't know if this is the first or second jab, the fill out jab, or the lead hook, or whatever it is, right? But like bro was just saying, y'all in for a fight like we all are.
But
they just hit ours. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
If you think it's a game, I'm going to tell you right now, all of the teams in Cali is about to be moving to Vegas and other states like the Raiders did. Mark my word, because they know, just like the insurance companies know, in my wild theory, what's coming from Cali. So, yeah, me, myself, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, bro. And hold on, there was one more thing. Where is John at right here? Okay, we talked about the San Andreas, right? The other jump was, okay, I mentioned the gold rush technology, of course, the lithium and the gold, where these so-called natural disasters are hidden. I try to always instantly do a quick search, but I didn't really have to do a quick search on what's the main popular mineral over there in California. We always talk about the California gold rush, so we know what's out there up under that land still, because gold just don't stop being made by the earth once you build houses on it. But Mel Gibson, Paris Hilton, and I'm not sure if they're Kardashians, they're all on different levels of, I would say, of that good vibe energy. Hollywood hates Mel Gibson because how he portrayed their class or their sect in
I'm
that movie,
glad
The Passion of the Christ.
I'm glad you brought him
So,
up because
yeah,
did you
go
see
ahead.
the interview I played of him earlier?
Yeah, yep.
So I'm saying he's still an agent though. He ain't done enough to see. I don't trust none of these celebrities that start saying what we saying. But yeah, but you can go
I
ahead
feel
though.
that too, because you never know if they're a spy. Because all spies got to act like you before they infiltrate and figure out what you really are. So, absolutely, and we're in that spiritual and physical warfare. So I agree.
True.
Don't
I
trust
think.
nobody.
Let me
I
hop
think.
in really quick. Let
Yeah.
me
Go
hop
ahead.
in
Go ahead.
really quick. Yep. Yeah, I'm in Cali and sis. Oh, my bad. Excuse my language. I'm in Cali. And it's been going on tougher, since 2018. I think was the first big fire where like 300, 400, 500,000 acres got burnt up in Northern California near the area where I'm at. And it's the same thing over and over again. The insurance companies, they've been doing it back then. It's
Yeah.
like we know that this is war. Like it's not like nature, Like
I'm glad that you let me know that y'all know though, brother. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we've being hit from all different angles. The food, the
fear
social
bomb.
media, everything. We're getting hit from every angle. And like that one video you played, Sanchez, of bro at the end where he's like, we really got to start uniting and doing something.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it's coming down to. It's like they're just gonna keep doing stuff until it like pushes. It's like it's almost like they already know, like they got to keep doing it, and then they push us into a corner where they already probably have a. It's almost like, yeah, what do we do? But we do got to get together and like put our thoughts together, really, really unite and come together. And if you don't got land and you're not growing your own food, it's like you should probably start pretty soon and start learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
That's
really
real talk though.
I'm really trying to put together a nonprofit school up here. Because I just had a kid and stuff, so I'm trying to really get a nonprofit school, and I really want to get a syncretism syllabus from you, Sanchez. So
guess what, Chronic Roots? It's time right now to start. Remember when God told Noah to build an ark because what's coming? And our form of the ark is if you got money and all that. Listen, I think it's gonna be an exodus out of big cities because listen. All of these metropolitan cities and areas like what we see Pacific Coast, all of this stuff that's being targeted with this geoengineering and technology from the government, right? These are places that they're trying to transform into smart cities. Everybody in big cities, life as you know it, the only thing they got control over is city living. That's why a lot of people who don't like what's happening in the world, they going off grid, like the tribes in Africa, like the tribal people. See, no matter what happened on earth, the tribal people are gonna be living the way they've been living for millions of years anyway. Their life ain't never gonna change. Our life gonna always be messed up because we live in these big cities. We relying on a lot of the infrastructure that's provided by the powers that be. And when they reset these systems, they don't do it in a way where they say, hey, everybody, we got to tear everything down and rebuild it again because people will go crazy. They got to fake natural disasters. And next thing you know, they destroying and rebuilding, and you thinking God attacking you. You thinking his nature attacking you,
And it's crazy, too, out here in Cali. Like I got my property outside the big cities, but I'm constantly making trips into the cities and stuff in the Bay Area, and like, bro, like you go into the city, it's a whole different mindset. Like you could tell, like people are just really brainwashed, and then you go up to the mountains more. People are more like, communal, and like they really like are just more involved. Like they know what's going on. Like they're not dumb, easily deceived. You know what I mean? It's a whole different energy for real. Like,
this is just crazy.
Yeah.
The guy's talking facts, man. If you get your land near Kern Valley or over by Maricopa, places like that, yeah, there's a bunch of no man's land that is very valuable and cheap. It's actually cheap property in California. And one day it'll be worth a lot, for sure.
And Charlie, we can hear what you're saying, but it's some static in your voice. It don't prevent us from hearing you, but I'm going to let you know it because you might want to fix it, though. When you hear it back, you're going to think we was hating on you that we didn't tell you that. So thank you, though, for your input. But, yeah, this is, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell y'all where I stand on it. I don't think it's nothing natural about it. I don't think it's God or none of that. And I think it's time for the people to quit playing dumb and let the powers that be know, hey, in large numbers, we think it's y'all. But you know they got something to fight against that, and that's you're going to be called a conspiracy theorist. You see what I'm saying? So let's, we pointed out everything about the trees and all of that. Boom, let me make sure I ain't got no clips, man, that I forgot to play. Before we get up out of here, because I don't want to keep this
one more
long,
thing really quick
long.
too. Most people's houses that burn down, they're owned by the banks anyways. Like, so it's easy land grab. You know, like they already, the bank, they got a loan from the bank. So it's like most people don't really own their homes. And even when you do, you got to pay property taxes. If you don't, allegedly, they're going to come take it. I don't really know, but you know.
I want to thank all of y'all for joining the panel and sharing, you know, the information that y'all got with the people. And I like it because we done get no trolls now because we got these camera rules. You got to show your face to get on. So, but anyway, I want to say to everybody that watched, thank you. We at the 3-hour mark. We're going to get up out of here. And I may or may not come back later if I get any more information. But I'm going to keep y'all covered on this as I get new stuff, new red flags, new stuff to point out to show you that this is not natural, it's not God. Follow along with me, guys. And remember, I upload content too as well as go live. So check for my uploaded content as well. Shout out to my panel. I'm going to get up out of here at this time. I'm going to let y'all go. Appreciate y'all for joining.
Salute, bro.
Thank you.
Sure.
Peace and love, brother.
And the last thing. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Much love. And the last thing I'm going to do is say, everybody that sent in a super chat, I really appreciate y'all. I want to send my love to the people in Cali that's going through it with this incident. And most I can do is keep y'all posted, be the voice for the people. Everybody don't want to speak what's real, but in my opinion, our brothers and sisters in Cali is under attack. But just as a disclaimer to cover my behind with the algorithm, I'm going to just say this before I get out of here too. Don't believe nothing that was said on this podcast. If anybody mentioned any medical information, anything about vaccines, anything about conspiracies about the government attacking us with weather technology or the government targeting people in California, don't believe none of that. It's speculation. It's conspiracy theories. Make up your own mind and get advice from experts and, you know, the people who are really certified to speak on these matters. Don't be a YouTube researcher. So that's my disclaimer. Do your own research because all of my content at the end of the day, it is parody. It has a sense of humor to it. I make conspiratorial parodies. So don't take nothing serious on none of my shows. And I want to thank you all. Peace and much love.
Sánchez Cocinado.
Fatality.